The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
You know what today is.
August 5th.
Happy National Underwear Day.
Say I leave a pair of my underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor, which frosts my wife. It's her word, not mine. If I'm not frosting her, I'm driving her up a wall. Kids will come in, where's mom? She's up the wall with frostbite, that's all I know. You won't believe what put her there, son. It was that pair of underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor. You were looking at the most powerful pair of underwear known to mankind. So I leave my drawers in the middle of the room, which, by the way, is not unusual, because when I was a single man, I learned how to walk out of my underwear on the way to the shower. You get to the end, you hop right out of them, baby. And you leave them in the middle of the room for a good reason. You always have your underwear inventory at your fingertips. If there's 8 on the floor, must be 4 in the drawer.
I got a 16-year-old daughter. She's growing up, but I don't know when it happened, man. I used to buy her Minnie Mouse panties and little Winnie the Pooh underwear. I came home the other day and I was helping my wife fold clothes. I picked up this little pair of skimpy underwear. I looked at my wife and I said, hey, when are you going to wear these for me? She goes, I can't. They're your daughter's. Ow! There was nothing to them. When the how to wash tag is the biggest piece of cloth on there.
It's showtime.
All right, folks. What the hell is going on? Welcome to the Monday edition of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. This is more like it for me, Cubby. About 70 degrees and rain all day.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thunderstorms. Love it.
The heat had me aggravated over the weekend, Josh. So let's have a day's worth of rain. You know, some of you folks who work out of doors can get a you can get a day off. This is where it's at for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the heat, as you know. But I'll tell you what, there was, hopefully you guys got the light show our neighborhood did over the weekend. Did you guys get the crazy lightning and thunder which accompanied that lightning?
Oh, yeah. It was
Saturday
crazy.
night. Yeah, Saturday night you're referring to?
Yeah, we have a new dog, so I wasn't sure how he'd handle the lightning, or thunder, I guess. And he did just fine, in case you were all wondering. I know that there's people out there that were over their weekend going, well, son of a bitch, will you just text me and let me know what's going on? But he's totally fine.
That's good to know.
Yeah, he's good.
You still married?
Yeah, well, you know, my wife, we were talking last week, she cuckolded me over the weekend with Dana. Kind of weird. Dana takes a couple days off. The same time, my wife happens to be going on what she called a girls' trip to Colorado. They both go to Colorado. And as far as I know, she cheated on me with Dana all weekend long.
Yeah, it did. That's what happened exactly.
She came back exhausted and disgusted.
She's really repulsed with herself and is regretting every life decision she made.
Yeah, Josh's old lady left town. It had been a while, right? Been a long time since you've been alone for an entire weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I had my son, but it's been... I don't remember the last time.
Alone as in without the wife, yeah.
Yeah, without her, I don't remember the last time.
She should do it more often. At least that's what the men in Colorado had to say. All right, so the highlight of your weekend away from the wife. You can give us a top 2, 3, 5, 6.
Well, it definitely wasn't my son getting friggin' COVID. That wasn't cool.
What is it with the immune systems in your immediate family?
Well, he's good. I mean, my wife and son, they've avoided it. They both had it just one time. And I should say my son's at time number 2.
Your house is so diseased.
Well, I'm diseased. They're not. For me, you know this, for as long as we've worked together, until the first time I got COVID, and maybe I shouldn't have phrased it that way in case there's people that are going to yell at me, but I never got sick, ever. And then I got COVID, and things have been different ever since.
It has been.
And I thought for sure. Wait
a minute, why would people yell at you?
I don't. If I'm suggesting one way or the other, I have no idea. The timing just worked out that way. I got COVID in whatever year it was.
Right.
And so it was like 2 years ago. And since then, I've had COVID 3 times. I had a flu that almost killed me. And then I had some sort of viral and bacterial infection that they hadn't even heard of before.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Almost killed me.
I'm sorry to laugh, but it is bizarre.
Yeah.
How
I have Ashley's immune system all of a sudden.
That's what's throwing me off.
And I thought for sure once he had it that I had it too. Because I had some allergy symptoms, and I thought, you got to be kidding me. This can't happen.
Ashley used to be Hennepin County's sickest resident.
Seriously.
It was ridiculous. She was always dripping something or coughing or falling down, passing out. And I don't know. Were you faking it all those times? We need to know now. We need to compare you to Josh. Were you faking some of that stuff just for days off? Because you love a day off.
No, I was actually sick all the time. And yeah, I passed it on to you, Josh. I'm so sorry. I can take it back for a little bit if you want me to.
Somehow you've become that person now.
Yeah, it's all me. I don't understand. Like I said, I thought for sure when he had it, well, I've got it. And so I've taken, since Saturday, I took 5 COVID tests.
Oh, my gosh.
I've doubled the amount of times I've been washing my hands. I keep drinking tons of water, hoping nothing happens. I've taken so many temperatures.
Oh.
I did make a mistake.
What do you mean?
I forgot the one we have. It's like the little gun-shaped one. You know, and like where you just point it at your head.
Oh, the forehead scanner one?
Mm-hmm. I forgot that's what it was. I used it rectally, and it stuck.
No! Still up there?
It's still there. So anytime I just have to kind of squirm a little bit, and I can tell you my temperature if you're interested.
Josh is going to make the stupid news for something in his butt.
The low light was your son, more importantly, my godson, got sick. Give us the highlights of Cubby's bachelor weekend, or whatever you want to call it, without the wife.
Well, we did a couple things. And I'll explain how I felt after we did them. So we rented a cool car. It was cheaper than a vacation, right? Because originally I thought, well, maybe I'll take him somewhere. I've never done that.
Take your son summers on vacation.
We've never gone anywhere alone, so I thought maybe that'd be kind of fun.
You've been talking about renting a hot rod for quite a while. You finally went ahead with that.
Yeah, I tried once. The dude bailed on me last second, so I moved on to a different app, or I guess website. And they were awesome, right? This guy, the dude that I talked to was awesome because one time I couldn't get the car to start. Luckily, it wasn't me. It was like a known issue with the vehicle, the brand, I should say. And so we took that out, this little hot rod, and we went to this place called iFly by you, Nick, at Ridgedale. And the boys, he brought a buddy. They did that, and they loved it. The guys there are awesome. Dudes you want to hang out with.
They are awesome there.
You're talking about it's an imitation of skydiving?
Yeah.
Right.
And they teach you, you go through some classes, like a flight school. You put on a flight suit, and they were in there. They got video and all kinds of stuff afterwards. They loved it.
You stand on top of a fan. They shoot you up to the ceiling. You act like you're skydiving. I haven't done it, but I remember when it first opened, we talked about it.
Yeah, I went there, and I tried it out.
You did.
And you're afraid of heights, too.
Yeah, so that's why we did it, because I would never skydive, but it gave you the feeling of skydiving.
Okay. You did this a while back, huh?
Yeah, the exact same place, iFly.
Right. I don't know if there's more than one of them. That might be the only one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But did they give you, a demonstration of what the dude can do in the wind tunnel?
I've got video of it.
That was absolutely insane. They go, upside down, and they're going around in a circle, and then they'll do a bunch of flips. It's insane.
Oh yeah!
Cool. As soon as he got done, I told my son and his buddy that they both suck. You guys really suck at this. Did you see everything he did?
How come you didn't try it? Why didn't Dad try it?
Well, let's just say it's not the cheapest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's for sure.
So
is that right?
Yeah. So I enjoyed watching the boys. They had a good time. So what I felt like as I get out of this little hot rod, and I kind of didn't want to take it places because I felt kind of douchey.
So you came over to my neighborhood in that damn thing.
Yeah, I did.
You should have called a bitch.
I thought about it, but I figured I should have.
What time of day was it?
What time of day was it? I think we had our flight time at noon.
Saturday at noon?
Saturday at noon.
I was unavailable. But anyway.
I figured as much. And I did think I should call you.
So you pull up to the iFly in your hot rod.
Well, I parked way far away just to kind of not walk in like a douchebag. But you know what I thought about is I was thinking, I feel like a recently divorced dad that's really trying to get the kids on my side.
Well,
because we don't do stuff like that. We don't, never do anything like that.
I noticed that about you, in the days leading up to your wife's departure for Colorado. You were 100% focused on planning as many cool things as possible with your son.
Yeah.
If I were you, I would have sent my son to stay somewhere else for the weekend. You know what I mean? I finally get a weekend to myself. I want it to be really a weekend to myself. Send the kid somewhere else. Instead, you went the other way. You wanted to show the kid a good time.
Well, I should say day one, right?
Introduce yourself to him.
Yeah, that's about how it goes.
Right.
On day one, I'm a terrible father. On day one, he did all of a sudden go sleep over at his cousin's house. I'm like, okay, I guess I know how this is going to start, right? He was gone, and then he had another buddy sleep over. I told you that my friend kind of pushed his son at our house, right?
That sucks.
Hey, we should all get together. You're a bachelor. And then he's like, cool, I'll drop my son off at this time, and then you can drop him off the next day. That's kind of how that went. To answer some questions, people were texting in wondering what kind of car I rented.
What kind of car did you rent?
I drove a Lotus Evora GT, I think it's called. And it was, I don't get any discount, nothing. I wasn't even planning on mentioning the name, but people were asking. Driveify is the website. And
how fast did you get it up to?
Yeah. Speed limit. I think I went over.
Oh my God.
And I had some friends going, well, did you get on it? I'm like, no, I didn't get on it at all.
I
think the fastest I went a little over. I think on the way back, it's in Spring Lake Park. The way back.
Oh my God, Spring Lake Park.
I know. On 35E, it was a 70, and I think I got her up to about 79.
You badass.
Oh. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I would push it either.
I figured if anybody's going to get pulled over, it's going to be the dude driving the bright blue is the word, Lotus.
I wouldn't worry about getting pulled over if I were you. I would just worry about something stupid's going to happen. I'm going to crack this thing in half. I don't blame you.
Oh, I was terrified because you got to put down a pretty decent-sized deposit.
I would have played it careful as well. So you had a good time.
Which, by the way, I could use that back real quick if for some reason Driveify's listening. Anytime you want to get that back to me, I'd really appreciate it.
You spent the whole day at the imitation skydiving joint. That you said that cost money.
Yeah.
So you drove the hot rod. You went to the skydiving joint.
Yeah, it was.
You had a nice weekend.
Well, yeah, and then so that was Saturday. Well, I rented the car on Friday, but so that was Saturday, right, where we did the iFly and everything. And my son's not feeling too well, and the day before he wasn't feeling so good, so I thought I better test him just to make sure. I don't want to screw myself for work here. And then,
unbelievable.
Lo and behold, he tests positive.
Unbelievable. I think there's something wrong with the water over there or something. When your wife came back home is she back?
She's back. I picked her up yesterday.
Did she bring you back a souvenir?
She brought me back nothing. Maybe an STD. I don't know how clean Dana is.
When she got home, this could start a whole new conversation. When she first walked into the house, did she go directly into the shower?
She did. Why? Why? I don't understand. I mean, she just got back from a vacation. She always showers right when she gets back from a vacation or when she works late. Like if she works late, she comes home and showers right away. It's just kind of what she does.
I was just curious. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
Like sometimes I come home early and she's not expecting me. She jumps in the shower. It's just kind of a thing she does. I don't know what you're saying.
Man, is she into hygiene, that one.
You know, she does vacation right. She works at a gym. So for 2 days, she and my sister-in-law went to the exact same gym chain.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. So I told her, like, so you just wanted mountains to look at while you guys are in the gym?
What in the world?
Dude,
the
first 2 days.
Hiking.
They
did go hiking, but
she works at a gym, and then when she went on vacation, she went to a gym.
The same brand, yeah.
back-to-back days every day?
No, I think it was just the first 2 days.
It doesn't matter. That's stupid.
I know.
That is commitment.
I signed up for a gym recently, and they were trying to get me to do like the highest tier of them, and they said one of the perks if I do the highest tier is that I can go to any location across the country. So they're like, when you're on vacation, you could go. I almost started laughing in their face. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to go to a gym when I take a trip.
Well, you got anything for us now, Daniel? You went to where'd you go again?
I went to Denver.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so
same place that Josh is. What happened over there?
I just hung out with my buddy and met his new baby, Oliver. He's a very cute little kid. He cried every time I attempted to hold him. So
that makes sense.
I do the same.
Yep.
Dana's very affectionate.
Yeah, but it was in that lightning storm you were talking about, Josh. My plane landed right through it. I thought I was going to die at one point.
Oh, you came back that early?
Yeah, I came back Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Is that what that was, Saturday? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was Saturday night during that lightning storm, and we were flying right through, and it was just insane to see. And I thought, all right, well, I'm going to put on some of my favorite songs because this might be the last time I hear them because we're probably going down.
That's great. The airlines get ripped a lot lately, but Nick and I did put in a request that you fly at the most dangerous time. And they went through with it.
They were very accommodating.
I was praying all night for more lightning, but just at the airport.
I was, because we were checking the weather, and we're like, there's no chance this flight's going to take off. And sure enough, it did. And then when we were landing, it was some white knuckling.
That's so scary.
I wouldn't have liked that. I mean, but did it cause turbulence? Did it rattle the piss out of you?
Yeah, a lot of turbulence. It was shaking quite a bit. And there were some nervous people on that flight.
I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic. Jesus wants to know something about my wife. If she showers after visiting a friend who's feeling down. Yeah. She's got like 3 buddies, and unfortunately, I think they've got some issues. They're down a lot. She's visiting them all the time.
As soon as she walked in the door, straight into the shower.
And I kind of think that maybe these guys are into cross-dressing because she always brings them like sexy outfits that she never wears for me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
All of a sudden, you're just sitting there folding the laundry. Huh, never saw this one. Never saw this one.
Oh, that's funny. That cracks me the hell right up. All right. This morning on the Half-Ass Morning Show, Dr. P. Jesus will be stopping in to take everybody's temperature. Text in. We'll holler at you when you need to get on the text machine. We'll have you text in if you're feeling funny and need professional advice. Dr. P gonna be swinging by. Now that's a guy. Next time you rent a hot rod, Josh, that's a guy I could see sitting in your passenger seat.
Yeah, I also thought of getting a hold of him, but he might be too big to fit in that car. That is a very small vehicle.
I love how you rent a hot rod, and you once also owned a hot rod, and you are the entire time completely uncomfortable about it.
Oh, yeah, and I even tried to talk the kids out of driving all the way to the iFly place because I'm like, it's pretty uncomfortable for the person in the back. Why don't we just take the truck?
Because you just did not want to be seen driving. You automatically think everyone is looking at you as if you're a douchebag.
Yeah, kind of. It's just more of a feeling. Not necessarily I'm assuming that. It's just a feeling I have. Like, you don't deserve this.
I understand.
I would have went to every drive-through possible. I would love to show that off.
I did text you some photos of that thing.
Yeah, that thing was really pretty.
Well, there you go. What else is going on around here?
Well, we're getting texts wondering who screwed up, who dissed on Friday. Unfortunately, we were looking forward to another game where we have a celebrity call in and Randy and Brad ask yes or no questions and have to determine who they think it is. And
yeah, I was pretty pissed about that.
Yeah, you definitely were. It's always a bummer. I'm so used to getting canceled on. We are the most canceled on morning show in the history of radio. But and people were trying to throw the blame at Dana, probably because
I was one of those people.
Probably because we suggested it heavily.
Yeah, I listened back to the segment.
And, you shouldn't have. That was probably painful.
It was very painful.
How are you?
But enough people brought it up to me, and I was like, okay, fine, I have to listen.
Yeah, it wasn't Dana's fault, turns out.
Is that right?
It was the other part. Well, we don't know what happened, actually. So.
They had the correct number, and they claimed they called it. But and we tested the hotline, and it was working. I triple checked to make sure I got them the right number. Not sure exactly where things got lost in communication there.
That's too bad.
Well,
we could do it again, maybe.
No, not with those people.
Oh, you really don't want to? What
No.
if it's not their fault? I mean, we have so many issues with our phones. I know you guys tested it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I stand by what I said on Friday. Whoever's fault it is, I'm never dealing with them again.
Never once?
Oh, yeah, they're
Nope.
dead to you.
No, they're dead.
Never again.
Today I'm saying never again.
I think.
But when I get home, I'm going to jump right in the shower, and I'll think about it a little bit.
Like immediately?
Immediately.
All right. Sorry, James, Lars, Kirk, and Robert. I guess we're never going to have you guys on. Whoever you are.
Ah, Christ. Yeah, all right. I don't know. I'll think about it.
I'd like to go back to this.
I know you would. I know
because
you would.
I truly do think it's very possible it was on our end.
Well, wait a minute. So whose fault was it?
Like a technical thing. We have issues all the time.
The phone's not working all the time.
Well,
There's always issues with that phone.
Ooh, now, okay, now I want to get into this now. When's the last time someone called here and it didn't get through because of the phone line?
Boy, we don't have a lot of extra guests.
It was definitely when we moved to these new studios.
I know Dick Bramer had some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we thought that might have been his phone.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He claims it wasn't. I don't know.
I just want to know, what am I doing? Am I eliminating? We might as well, half give it away here. Am I vowing to never deal with a certain professional sports team in town ever again? Or are we firing Dana? What are we doing here? Whose fault was it?
Only one, those two options.
That was the vow I made on Friday.
I don't think it was Dana's fault, but I still think we should fire him.
I don't know. We'll figure out.
Because we can't not talk to Andrew DePaula this Viking season. He's our bro.
Oh,
we love DePaula. Is Depot above the Vikings?
But
does he transcend the Vikings?
He's almost not even. But he's not even really a Viking. I mean, he's a long snapper. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
He transcends the Vikings, maybe.
We'll figure it out. What else is going on around here? Like I said, Dr. P's going to swing by. I don't know. How do I get my wife to leave town for a few days, Josh? What did you do?
Well, she leaves all the time, doesn't she?
No, not anymore.
Oh, I thought she left for her various conventions and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that used to happen, yeah.
Oh, dude, just buy her a plane ticket.
Why is this one way?
She used to travel a lot.
Okay, I thought she still was.
No.
Well, I thought didn't she leave relatively recently?
I don't remember.
The last couple of months?
Christ, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I thought she did.
Yeah, because that's when she told you to stop hanging out with all the whores. Wasn't it?
She always tells me to stop hanging out with whores.
She hates whores.
Yeah.
She really does.
I don't know. I can't. It seems like it's been a long time. I just wanted to know if you had any secrets.
No, I don't. This just kind of popped up. I guess get a sister-in-law that likes to travel and is tired of traveling with her husband, a.k.a. my brother, and she threw that out there.
Unbelievable. She works at a gym. She goes on vacation and goes to the gym.
And again, the same brand of gym, not like, ooh, here's a whatever, like a different style.
Can you imagine
can't
swinging by a radio station in Denver when you're there on vacation? And saying, hey, I'd like to cut some bad advertisements and tell a couple of dick jokes real quick.
Yeah, no thank you.
On your air, if you don't mind.
I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, that'd be insane.
You would be put in an asylum if that's the way you operate.
That would absolutely never happen.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's how she goes. That's how she goes once in a while. You're a terrific crowd. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. Like I said, maybe there's a few of you where the weather's going to provide you a day off. I'm happy for you. It's going to be nice to ditch that heat for a while and hang around in the friggin' 70s, man.
Oh, I'm so pumped.
So perfect.
I'll tell you. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text WALL, WALL, WALL to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant takes place Monday, August 12th at Target Center. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. This keyword is good today, August 5th until midnight.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you tired of losing your fantasy football league year after year? Lindsey Rhodes, Emmy-winning sportscaster and football analyst, is your new secret weapon on the Believe Fantasy Football Show.
Watch the quarterbacks and his ADP. I think he has massive high-end upside.
Get expert analysis on player rankings.
Wide receiver 22 in fantasy, Cecil Shorts.
That kid can run, so I'm thinking he can have a breakout season this year.
And you can too by searching the Believe Fantasy Football Show. That's BLEAV wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, something we covered earlier. Had a good time talking about this. Josh rented a slick hot rod over the weekend, something he's been wanting to do for a while. Now, he's got a few bucks in his pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Not anymore.
Had a weekend without the wife, just he and his boy. Rented a slick hot rod. You went this way, you went that way, right?
We did.
Driving around something called a Lotus. A locust? A what?
Lotus.
A Lotus. You felt uncomfortable. You don't think you're worthy of a Lotus. You think everyone is calling you a douche as you pass them by. Do you want to hear from a listener who texted in, who shared the road with you over the weekend?
Oh, really?
Spotted you in that car.
I wish we would have been able to say hello.
It's Daddy Fights Jesus, who now is changing. It appears he's changing his handle to I Drive Faster Than Josh Jesus.
A lot of people do.
Doesn't take much.
Said he saw you 35 East Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah. I was on Saturday morning. Okay. I don't know where I was on my way to Saturday morning.
In that Lotus. And he said, he turned to his son, who was 7, and said, look at that car. Right? You want to know what his 7-year-old son said?
No.
What a loser.
God dang it, I knew it.
You got roasted by a 7-year-old, man.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
That happened to me about twice over the weekend then, because yesterday when I returned the vehicle, there was another gentleman and his son returning the highest end vehicle they've got there, right?
Yeah.
And I said to the kid and his dad, hey, what'd you think? Pretty sweet? And they just looked at me and said nothing. That was kind of an awkward walk to my vehicle afterwards.
Yeah.
Big gulps up. Well,
sure
see you out there.
Yeah. We rented the top vehicle, man.
Why didn't they respond to you?
I don't know. Because I thought maybe they didn't hear me. I was like, well, what'd you think? And they just both looked at me like, F you, man.
They didn't have time for you commoners.
This guy's beneath us.
That does nothing for your self-esteem problems.
No, well, it does something, but it doesn't help, that's for sure.
Doesn't do anything good for you.
I kind of laughed about him like, man, that was something else.
That's not right.
I do hope they had a good time, though.
You didn't think about that the whole ride home, too.
I forgot about it pretty quickly.
That is not right. All right. I'm going to go after this stupid news report. I am. Like it was my job. I'm going to go after this. Now, this one will be tough for Josh, I think. I know you would never, ever support any form of animal cruelty.
Of course not.
But you also don't like spiders at all.
No, I don't.
So here's the deal that you got to figure out.
Of all the attributes to my wife, and there are aplenty, one is that she's not afraid to go get a spider for a guy. I appreciate that.
Oh, man. Here's where you're going to maybe be stuck between a rock and a hard place type of a situation. A lady went ahead and drowned her roommate's pet spider, and that lady is now looking at animal cruelty charges.
I guess, does that surprise anybody that an arachnid would fall under that category?
I was immediately surprised when I read insects or arachnids, whatever the hell, being lumped in with animal cruelty. And by the way, how would you like to be the well-trained, seasoned police detective that got assigned this high-profile case?
Yeah, I'd pass on that if I could.
The career opportunity that all cops dream about.
I mean, because you can kill a spider in your home because they are home invaders. It's a castle doctrine that we're all protected by. So I guess a pet spider's obviously different.
This was all brand new to me, Josh.
I've got an uncle. I've told you before. He had all the exotic animals, right? Like the snakes and lizards and tarantulas and stuff like that.
Right.
Fighting fish and whatnot.
What a dork.
And right, that's true. And so he had in one of them, he had like his terrarium, I guess you'd call it, and there was it was separated, and he had a tarantula on either side. Now one tarantula crawled over and killed the other tarantula, and that was my uncle's favorite tarantula. So the murderous tarantula met his fate at the bottom of a boot heel.
Oh no!
It's like, come on, man.
If you ask,
tarantula just went tarantula. I mean, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
If you ask some, that would fall under the category of animal cruelty.
Yeah, and I hope there's no statute of limitations, and the cops are on their way to his house right now.
So again, a lady drowned her roommate's pet spider, and that lady is now got a face full of animal cruelty charges. It says here now the spider owner really loved the little bastard. One day, the spider lady came home from doing something or another and saw that her pet jumping spider and its enclosure were missing. Spider lady texted her roommate, and the roommate admitted to drowning the spider on purpose in a glass of ginger ale. That's no way to go.
The most delicious drowning of all time. And if you have an upset tummy, that might help. Till, of course, you can't breathe anymore. It would be pretty awful to drown.
My God.
They say it's not. You know, have you heard that before?
No, I haven't.
What are we talking about?
Drowning.
They say it's not what?
I've heard it's not like as bad as, I mean, you're dying and you can't breathe. I don't know how it cannot be absolutely miserable.
Yeah, don't people say it's peaceful or something?
I've heard that before. Yeah, I didn't throw that out because I wasn't sure, but I thought I heard that
too.
That doesn't seem very peaceful as you're flailing around.
Yeah, and as
I'm sorry, who are these live human beings who are telling us that drowning is peaceful?
Some people on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a very good point.
Details of a motive. What's that?
I don't get it. Yeah,
No,
it's
I don't
like
either.
water just leaking into your lungs until you can't take it anymore. No, I'm good.
Chip Man Jesus has texted in to say that if killing spiders is a crime, then I belong in prison.
Yeah, he's right.
He gets rid of a lot of those spiders, Chip Man G. Details of a motive were not discussed here in the story as to why the roommate drowned the spider in a glass of ginger ale. They hear what does it say now? The spider is worth 70 or was worth $70, if that matters at all to you. Jumping spiders, the one that drowned, grow no bigger than about 3/4 of an inch. They are considered great pets amongst spider dorks who say they're, quote, like 8-legged cats. There was another similar case, by the way, back in May. A dude was accused of deliberately and maliciously killing a betta fish by flushing it down the turlet.
No, we don't technically know that it died. Could have survived that.
Oh, it's probably like 13 feet long now. Yeah. One of those sewer fish.
So,
that's another thing. I don't know that I'd call the cops. In that situation.
This is all...
Like, I wouldn't think the cops would do anything whatsoever. If somebody killed my spider or my betta fish.
Yeah, I think they just laugh at you.
Well, I don't know about that, but... I mean, if you are, I think, Josh, if I came to your house and drowned your turtle, don't you have a turtle named Dude?
I do.
If I came to your house and I killed your turtle, Dude, odds are cops.
That seems a little different to me.
Why is that?
Because it's not a bug.
Oh, okay. Well, let's say you had a fish.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. If you called the cops and said, dude just killed my fish, they're probably not going to come screaming over with the lights and sirens, but I bet if you are, what's the word I'm looking for? Just destroyed emotionally, they're gonna feel obligated to write something up. And if you want to press charges, you can, right?
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
It
right.
just happened here.
Distraught is the word I was looking for. I mean, if you are distraught enough, if this is a pet that you truly loved and relied on, no matter what it is, a bug, a rat, a cat, but that's new to me too. I've never heard of insects or spiders or whatever connected to animal cruelty. I have a couple of pals who will sit down and play cards all day at those casino poker tournaments. And I hear it's an interesting crowd at those effing deals. Here's an example.
Do they wear sunglasses? It seems like when you used to watch it on TV, there's always a couple guys wearing sunglasses.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never gone along.
Oh, you haven't gone?
No.
There have been times where I've played some very low-limit poker, and not high stakes at all at those card clubs. And yet there's always one or two guys that's, wanting to make sure people can't get a read on his eyes by wearing the big sunglasses and having a hat pulled over his eyes and not really talking much.
I wore some mirrored ones once, and unfortunately, everyone could see my cards.
Didn't work out so
I've got one buddy that went pro, like he did the circuit or whatever they do. I'm trying to remember what he said the most he ever won. I don't think he was ever up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no,
I think he kind of broke even a lot.
It's not surprising.
This is like killing a spider and looking at animal cruelty charges. This is all foreign to me as well. I don't sit down and play poker with anybody. But my pals who go to those all-day poker tournaments, they often come back with a story or two. They always say, yeah, man, interesting crowd. When really I think they ought to take a minute and look in the mirror. But here's an example of some of those interesting people at a joint called the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood. That's the name of the joint. Some unhinged puke bag waved and shook his pecker at everybody sitting there playing cards. And then he smacked a dealer with a beer bottle.
Oh,
no. Doesn't sound like he was sitting at anyone's table. It doesn't sound like he was in on any games. He was just kind of hanging around. The cops say this meltdown happened just before 1:45 a.m. See, now part of me says that's what you get for being anywhere other than in your own home at 1:45 in the godforsaken a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a buddy of mine when we went to BIR years ago. He got his ass kicked. Woke up one morning there at the campground, woke up in the zoo, and I said, "Where's Donnie?" And they said, "Oh, you won't be seeing him for a couple hours." Well, what happened? "Oh, he got his ass kicked this morning." I said, "This morning? It's 9:30. What are you talking about?" "Oh, he stayed out drinking till about 8 this morning."
Ooh, that's never a good idea.
And some people at our campsite wanted to feel sorry for Donnie. I said, "That's what you get for drinking until 8 o'clock in the morning."
He did it to himself.
That's right.
Nothing good happens after 5 p.m. Everybody should go home before 5 p.m., in my opinion.
So
it's too dangerous.
No, shortly before 1:45, that's when this dude pulled his D out at the poker tournament. A young fella by the name of Abdul Rahman Zaina. He hauled it out. His rod is what I'm referring to. He shook it up. He shook it down. He shook it sideways for folks. Out of nowheres, I guess. Nobody knows why. He got it out and made it dance. Security told him to get out. He mouthed off. And then he got in a little wrestling match with security. They just about had this Abdul character hogtied, but he got away, picked up a beer bottle, sidearmed it across the room, and the bottle clipped some poor bastard card dealer.
That sucks.
After that nonsense, they beat his ass good, and they got him out of there.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been to that level of intoxication.
Where you're pulling
Where I'm just pulling my penis out for random folks and shaking it around at some place called Hard Rock.
I sure would like it if you got there.
I don't know if I'd chalk this up 100% to alcohol intake.
Yeah, it sounds like there was some other drugs involved there.
I don't even think you need. Well, here's the thing: you don't even need to blame it on drugs. Some people just right. You don't need
That's
drugs.
true.
Some people are looking for an excuse.
Yeah. All right. Here's something. Okay, speaking of drugs, here's something for you folks who love to eat fistfuls of those weed gumballs or whatever they are, which is damn near all of you at this point. Here's how it turned out for one dude who went on an airplane ride. A dude from New Jersey. He came completely undone. He says he ate too many weed edibles. And maybe that was just an excuse. I don't know. He, what's it say here, Josh? He tried to have sex with a flight attendant.
Been there. Right, everybody?
Oh, totally.
Actually, I don't know if I've ever met a flight attendant that was under 70 years old. I know they exist. I don't know if I've ever personally known one, though. That's that young.
He tried to have sex with a flight attendant right there on the airplane. And he also became, this guy from New Jersey I was talking about, who's blaming this on weed edibles. He also became the latest jag-off to start tugging on the airplane's exit door when they were at 20, 30,000 feet up. The airplane had to make an emergency landing, and the guy was...
Weren't you just telling me that you talked to a cop about weed gummies and how they say it is kind of crazy what it's making people do?
Yes. A friend of mine recently told me one hell of a story about popping those weed gumballs. He did it, his wife did it, and another couple that was staying at their home. They had a few beers, a few, and he made that very clear. He said we had like 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 at the moment, and they've like almost everyone on earth but me, they've experienced with these edibles. So they somewhat knew what they were doing. Someone out of the 4 of them passes out some of these, passes out isn't the word. Well, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Hands out these, okay, try one of these things before you go to bed. So they all took them with the idea that it would help them sleep. And I know that's a very common approach by some people. Even maybe I shouldn't. A lot of folks take them to sleep. And my buddy woke up and he was convinced he was dying. He gets up out of bed. His heart is absolutely pumping smooth out of his chest. And his wife wakes up because he's kind of pacing around the bedroom. And she says, "What are you doing?" And he said, I think I'm going to die here. And then, next thing you know, full-on face plant. He could no longer hold his body up. He face plants hard down onto the floor, and he absolutely cannot move.
Man.
His wife now gets out of bed and says, what's happening? And he said, I can't breathe. So she goes to see the other couple who's staying in the guest room down the hall. They're in the same condition. They have gotten out of bed and fallen, and they cannot move. So she calls the police. And when the police showed up, now my buddy said by the time the police showed up, maybe 20 minutes later, he was starting to sort of come to, sort of get a grip. But he still couldn't pick himself up off the floor. The cops showed up, and this is what Josh was getting at. The cops said almost every day they get a call similar to my pal and his wife's situation, where someone has popped some of those gum rocks, or whatever they are, the weed gum, and something goes haywire where they're convinced they're about to meet their maker. And so my pal, when I had this conversation with him a couple weeks ago, he vowed, man, he was serious. He said, I am never, ever putting one of those in my yap ever again. It scared the living hell out of me.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely terrifying.
I've heard the big risk is if you're not used to it, you don't necessarily know how much weed is in there, right? If somebody just hands you one, because it seems like they vary crazily. I mean, like, what do you get here? Like 5, is that the highest, or 10 milligrams?
I think it goes up to 10.
It does, so 10 milligrams, and then Wapple, weren't you saying you did once like 300 or something?
Yeah, a piece of cake.
Oh, it's cake. Okay, I thought it was a gummy.
No, the lady made it all from scratch with butter and everything like that.
With butter. These folks that I'm rapping about, Cubby, they knew the amount.
And were they used to that amount that you know of?
They were used to all kinds of things.
Really?
They had traveled all up and down this edible road up until the night in question. So at least my buddy, is sworn off of it for good. He said that was just insane. Never, ever again.
Well, yeah, and then if he ever smoked again, his mind would just immediately go to that scenario and he'd be terrified.
Mm-hmm. So here's this guy on this airplane. Chugs some edibles before he gets on the plane. He tries to have sex with a flight attendant. He's tearing at the exit door. They had to arrest him. They had to land the plane.
He had some interesting things to say.
You say potato, I say potato.
He was singing to the crowd?
Yeah, he was singing.
That's fun.
He said this.
I'm the new generation.
He's the new generation.
I'm the new generation.
I don't like where the new generation's going. If
No.
that's the case.
26-year-old by the name of Eric Gapko. Witnesses say out of nowhere as he started to act unruly, he took his shirt off and started taking pulls from his silly little vape pen. And then he was yelling, hitting on a crew member, asking her for sex. Put his hands on that crew member. Then he went after the exit door, trying to crack that pig open. At one point, he was yelling, "I am sane," over and over again.
Usually a sane person doesn't do that.
Eventually, crew members beat his ass, shackled his hands and feet, and like I said, then the captain had to make an emergency landing to drop this idiot off for the cops. He denied doing any illegal drugs, but later told his arresting officer he ate approximately 10 marijuana edibles without having any clue how strong they were.
My God. Yeah, people are saying you can get 300, 350 milligram gummies.
That's insane.
If you're a sane person, you never have to say, I'm sane. If you're an insane person, you might have to throw that out every once in a while because you're exhibiting signs that you're nuts.
He wasn't done yet, too. Once they got his sad ass on the ground, he broke a glass door and he spit on a cop.
I would like to know what his normal personality is, just to see if it's somebody like your buddy who all of a sudden it completely changed him.
I mean, he just, my pal, like I said, it didn't really change my pal's personality. It physically broke him down to a pile of Jell-O. 1 minute he was standing, and then his body could no longer stand. Boom, down on the ground, and he was frozen to the ground. Couldn't move a muscle. All right. For those of you suckers who still volunteer to take trips to faraway places that require a plane ride. People like Dana just left town on an airplane. Josh's wife. Suckers that you are. You should know this. If you fly with the folks from Korean Airlines, you will not be served noodles. No, you will not. And Dana just told us a minute ago he had a rough landing here in Minneapolis Saturday night because of that thunderstorm. That's where they're going with this. The reason behind this noodle ban is that because turbulence during the plane rides is causing too many people to spill their hot noodles all over themselves, and they're suffering terrible burns.
Who decided this was a good idea?
Yeah.
Well, who decided what was a good idea?
Hot noodles?
Hot noodles on an airplane?
Boy, it would be fun to watch, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of would.
Some poor bastard has just about got that spoonful of hot noodles up to his yap, and then the plane goes beep, beep, and he pours it right on his bag.
It's been a while since I've had those instant noodles.
Oh, they're still good.
Korean Air says they will stop serving instant noodles in economy class.
Oh, so first class can still get it.
That's right, Wapple.
Dang it.
The rich pricks still get their noodles. They're going to stop serving instant noodles to the regular folks because, quote, burn incidents occur frequently due to turbulence and hot water. Noodles have been a popular snack on this Korean airline company for decades, but the frequency of turbulence has more than doubled since 20+19. The frequency of turbulence has more than doubled. Experts say climate change is to blame for that.
Thanks, climate.
You know what else they serve on those airplanes, Josh? The Korean airplanes? You want to hear about it?
Yeah.
Sandwiches?
Sure.
Nice.
I like those.
Pro sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Corn dogs?
Just had a couple over the weekend.
That could be dangerous also.
Oh, true, Wapple. Yeah, you hit some turbulence. You accidentally stab yourself.
Just jam the stick in the back of your
Right in
throat.
your throat, yeah.
Next thing you know, you're the deep throat champion of
The
Korea.
air.
I just learned a skill I didn't know I had.
Pizza pie. They'll give you a slice of pizza and Hot Pockets. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Hot on the outside, cold on the inside.
That's how they work.
Balls, Mahoney.
Yeah, I never figured out exactly how to do it right either.
I don't think anyone has.
Listen to this here. Back in May, severe turbulence killed somebody or another and injured 71 other people on a Singapore airplane ride. Now, yeah, Dana said he had a rough landing in Minneapolis Saturday night. Other than that, anyone got a good turbulence story? Some of that airplane turbulence, Josh, will go ahead and part your hair for you.
That's what I've heard. So I haven't been on a lot. Most of the planes I've been on were with you.
Yeah.
So I've barely experienced any turbulence. Nothing that was even super noticeable.
The one time you and I experienced severe turbulence, there's a route I want to take here, and I can't find it. I think I found it. It probably wasn't as bad as we were on such a tiny little airplane is where I'm trying to go with this. We were on a teeny little air. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and I didn't think it was that bad. There was the one guy. What made it seem bad was the dude that was terrified of flying.
Yes. That was a rattly friggin' ride that we took, but we were on a tiny little prick bastard airplane.
I remember even you telling me at the time, this isn't terrible turbulence, that you've been on some planes where it's just, this doesn't even compare.
No, but the size of the airplane, the size mattered, right? In this case, we were getting our ass beat because we were on like a 10-seat little bitch of an airplane. If you were on a real airplane that night, it would have been like a little tickle on your bottom. Yes, I have been in some, and I know what you're saying, again, with the Ireland story, but the Ireland ride that I took on the way there and back, before we all were convinced we were going to die in a fiery crash, all the way there and back, it was like 10-foot rollers on Lake Superior.
Ooh, wow. That's what I've heard. Some people saying you can just drop a ton and then go back up and drop a ton. That would be pretty scary.
Oh, yeah. I'd be throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, I've only been on a plane 3 times in my life, but the first time I was on a plane was in kindergarten, and we went to Florida. I remember we were trying to land, but we couldn't for 2 hours, so we had to keep circling in the air because there was thunderstorms below us. So that was pretty cool, seeing a thunderstorm being above it, seeing all the lightning and everything.
There was one time on a flight home from Vegas, we land, and I was coming home with a bunch of friends, and we get off the plane, and my buddy goes, "Man, that turbulence was pretty scary." And I go, what turbulence? I was so hungover, I slept through apparently a horrible incident of turbulence. She goes, "Dude, people were crying on the plane. You didn't wake up for that?" I go, no, slept through the whole thing.
I could sleep through that. Sober, I could sleep through that.
Oh, man.
I can sleep through pretty much anything, luckily.
All right, I know this ain't right, but I do like this guy's style. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know that, right, Josh?
Yeah, you got to.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. A McDonald's worker set fire to a dumpster to clear out a crowded restaurant. Again, I know it ain't right. But I do like the fact that the guy said, you know what? If one more customer asks me for a ketchup packet, I'm going to light and he went ahead and did it. He lit a dumpster on fire just so everyone would have to run for their lives and he could get a friggin' break.
It's the only time he could get a smoke break.
There were just too many people in the restaurant buying cheeseburgers and whatnot. And it got to be too much for the guy. He said, F it. I'm setting something on fire. This guy was a manager in training, from what I understand, at a McDonald's restaurant in Georgia. But now the bastard's going to, by damn, he's been sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. The kid's name is Joshua McGregor, 34 years old. He was working at McDonald's in April last year when he got, quote, frustrated because the restaurant was very busy. The drive-thru was crowded. This is all according to the court case that just wrapped up. He lit a piece of cardboard on fire, tossed it into the restaurant's dumpster, which was full of cardboard and other flammable materials, obviously, and then he came back into the restaurant. Can I help you? How about you, sir?
You might want to make it quick.
The fire became so intense that customers in the drive-thru lane had to back out of the parking lot. The restaurant was forced to briefly close while the fire engines and everybody showed up. He filmed the fire and posted it on Facebook.
What an idiot.
Oh, no.
He filmed it and he posted it on Facebook. Surveillance footage, I think is how a grown person says it, showed him starting the fire. Oh, my God. That is funny.
So you mentioned Wapple, you understand.
Oh, yeah. There were some nights where it's like, oh, boy, just get out of here.
Yeah, you're praying for a tragedy. I get that one.
Yep.
Well, is it just the stress? Like there's too much going on at once?
Or it's like, I usually closed, so it's like the end of the night, everything's all cleaned up, and then someone comes through the drive-thru 2 minutes before it closes.
Oh.
It's like, oh, no.
And they're probably high or something, and they want like 40 Big Macs.
Yep.
I do my best never to do that. Because I can't imagine you're all cleaned, ready to go, and then somebody comes in a minute or two before at the end of the shift.
Yep.
That used to happen when I worked at restaurants.
Yeah,
too.
even like sit-down restaurants, they'll come in 5 minutes before it closes, and it's like, no.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Now we still have to serve them.
This kid here, the pyro, Mac Gregor, working over there at McDonald's, where at least he used to work at McDonald's. His defense attorney said he's a good man that made a mistake and will move past this. Well, I hope so, yeah.
That's what we can hope for here.
But sometimes you just got to do what comes to mind for me. When I played beer league hockey for all those years, I was famous, of course, for the 1,000 career points. But I was infamous for I had really no shame if we were getting pumped in our own zone where we just could not clear the puck. Power play, even strength didn't matter. If we were in a situation where the other team had us pinned in our zone and we could not clear the puck, and I feared, okay, a goal's coming here. We're going to give up a friggin' goal. I had no shame. I would skate over and pick the puck up with my bare hand and throw it out of play. I would.
I love you.
Just to get the whistle and okay, fine, I'm going to get a penalty for delay a game, but I have just prevented what was obviously about to be a goal against. And there were times the other team would laugh, but there were times that the other team was absolutely furious with me.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say, hey, needed a whistle. Get over it. I loved that bit. I would just bend right over and just pick the puck up, just throw it over the glass, throw it to the goalie's wife in the crowd. Here you go.
I saw a fight almost occur at an arcade when somebody did that playing air hockey. He just stepped the little disc before it went in. Other guy was really upset.
He just grabbed it with his hand?
He grabbed it with his other hand. He had one hand on the whatever it is, little paddle thing, whatever that's called, and then just grabbed it with the other hand. Because that bank, the way he banked it, that was definitely going in. So he just grabbed it with his left hand.
Not scoring on me, dickhead.
Oh, I thought those guys were going to kill each other.
Well, like my buddies in the early days of online gaming, I don't even know if you'd call it online gaming. In the mid-'90s, you're going to have to help me, of course, because we're talking about any technology beyond 1977. Mid-'90s, I want to say, my buddies were able to play, I think it was Sega football, Madden, that's what it is, Madden. They were able to play Madden football against people from far, far away. Am I making that up, or did that really happen?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of it, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
It seems pretty.
Maybe it was late 90s. Late 90s. It doesn't really matter.
That could make more sense.
Okay, the timing doesn't matter. I know that my pals, as 27, 8, 9-year-old men, would sit down and play Madden football somehow against an 11-year-old in Indonesia. I don't know how it worked, but they did. And these are grown men, my pals. And if in the opening drive they got scored on where the kind of writing was already on the wall, like, oh, I got a tough opponent here.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
They would just hit the power button. Yep. And then they'd get and then somehow, I don't know how it worked. I apologize again. I don't know how this stuff works. But then they get a message from this kid saying, you're a bitch, F you.
Yep, been there, done that.
You did that too?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You just quit?
Absolutely. Rage quit, yeah.
Yeah, now the systems have advanced so much that they know that people do that. So when you try to quit the game, it'll save beforehand, or it brings you back to that game.
And then you have to finish the game eventually?
Yeah.
In the spirit of sportsmanship?
Yeah, either you have to finish the game or you take just a mad hit against your rating.
Oh, you don't want that mad hit against your rating.
No, you already worked hours to get that up.
Yeah,
dude.
not when you're 30 and you're taking on a 5th grader.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Oh, man. All right.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
First pitch to De La Cruz. He hits a fly ball, right center. Yastrzemski has it! And Blake Snell has pitched the first no-hitter of his brilliant career.
It's locked in! Got him, Coach!
Hey, it's cold. Got him. I got to collect my breath.
Please do.
Get a replay of that. That's how you don't do it. They hit me in the head with the dang lid.
Blake Snell, who's he pitching for nowadays? Anyone know?
I got to take this thing
Blake
off.
Snell. God dang it, I can't remember. I had it in front.
Giants.
Oh, yeah, San Francisco. Threw a no-hitter on Friday.
He did.
Yeah, he's a crafty left-hander.
He got hit in the head with the Gatorade.
Who did?
Snell did.
Someone
when they're pouring it over his head.
Oh, for Christ's sake! They hit him in the brain with the Gatorade lid.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're doing there in San Francisco.
He's pretty tall. It'd be tough to pour it over. Isn't he like 6'4"?
Yeah. Well, all the big leaguers now are big giant guys. Yeah, he's a tall, lanky sumbitch. Well, good for him. I like watching the guy pitch. He's got some good stuff. We'll get to the Summer Olympics. We'll get to that when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder jump into the mix here in about a half hour. Twins. They kept that miserable losing streak going for the Chicago White Sox.
You'll love to see it.
They swept the weekend series. The Sox have now lost 20 effing games in a row. Yesterday's final from Target Field was 13-7. It was a long one. 26 hits in the ball game. But now the White Sox losing streak is the longest in the big leagues in 36 years. I think I have that right, 36 years.
Yep.
One more, and I think they tie the American League record. They start a series at Oakland tonight. I'm sure Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will have plenty to say about the Chicago White Sox. Randy's kind of fascinated by their story, I think. He likes to bring it up a lot. The Twins, now they face the Northsiders. They're in Chicago now to play a 3-game series against the stupid Cubs. Starting at 7 o'clock tonight, David Festa makes his 4th career start. I mean, we got a lot of stuff to cover when Shaver and Ryder swing by, including, like I said, all that Summer Olympic stuff. For now, take a little break ski. We're coming back with Josh's news report.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show.
Tucker Carlson, what is it that you think that people gravitate
I'm not
towards?
self-aware. I refuse to be self-aware. I don't even look in mirrors at all, which you can probably tell from my appearance. I don't have a crazy high IQ, or I really don't have that many skills. I would say my main skill is I believe my instincts. I don't hesitate to follow my instincts, ever. To the extent that I have, I've gotten in trouble.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
He gave me an ultimatum, and I had to fight at that point in time. I want to see my kids. That's really it. Get through this, go see my kids.
A Georgia Chick-fil-A employee fought for his life against a gun-wielding burglar who broke into the store and threatened to kill him. The delivery driver was alone inside the restaurant when the 51-year-old suspect, Tommy Williams, used a rock to smash through the drive-thru window about 4:30 a.m. July 1st.
Carrying a couple of boxes up towards the front to put them away, and I hear some glass break. The guy came up behind me with a gun, told me to go and open the safe. He told me, if you don't open the safe, you're going to die.
Williams, wearing a mask over his head, stormed into the kitchen and told the victim he was going to kill him if he didn't open that safe, but the employee didn't know the combination. Security footage from inside the restaurant shows Williams and the employee trading blows to the head in the back room as they fought over the gun.
Put my hands up in the air and I walked back towards the office. When I decided to fight for my life, I was able to get a hold of his hand and wrench his wrist back so that he couldn't point the weapon at me. Broke his glasses, I put my thumb into his eye, he hit me several times.
The employee was able to remove Williams' mask during the several-minute struggle before Williams fled through the rear of the restaurant. He had already disappeared when authorities responded. Williams was arrested Wednesday and faces several charges.
The balls it must have taken to make that first move on a dude with a gun on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, big time.
I guess just that desperation, right? Thinking this is it.
Some of us, maybe even me included, I don't know if I would have had the balls to make that move. I guess you don't know until you're in a situation like that. You know what you do after you thumb a guy in the eye, Cubby? You rake his back.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Just like in the WWE or something?
Yeah, you rake his damn back.
I didn't know Chick-fil-A's were open at 4:30 a.m. Or did he show up to get it ready for the day?
Yeah. He'd be dropping off all like the chicken nuggets and food products and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they do that early in the morning so they don't back up the parking lot and the drive-through and stuff.
Makes sense.
Fascinating, the inside information that you have on the fast food industry.
There you go.
It is.
Yeah, very good. A North Carolina man was arrested after he struck a Lowe's store employee with a sledgehammer and then stole a drill set. The Lowe's employee was helping 25-year-old Aaron Williams when he suddenly took a sledgehammer from his shopping cart and struck the employee right in the head.
God, help us all. That would kill most of us.
I mean, if you threaten me with a sledgehammer, you can just take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to go through with it. You're going to get it either way. When the victim fell to the ground, Williams grabbed the drill set and ran out of the store. The victim was transported to the hospital with serious injuries, but is in stable condition. They expect they're going to be okay. Williams also had an outstanding warrant for possession of a firearm by a felon. Oh, can you even imagine how much that... Hopefully he's someone that doesn't know how to wield one. And it wasn't... Well, I guess it knocked him to the ground. But,
I mean, I would think that would just scramble me for good.
Police are investigating a kidnapping scare on a bus in Australia after a shirtless man tried to snatch a baby and pretend to breastfeed it.
Oh, no.
Wait just a minute. That's a new one, isn't it?
The child's mom raised the alarm with the driver of the bus about 8:40 a.m. Friday. The driver quickly contacted dispatch, reporting claims the man had tried to snatch the baby. The driver told headquarters a fare evader got on the bus and went to grab the lady's baby out of her stroller. He then tried to breastfeed the baby. I'm not too sure what to do here, he said.
Got on the bus and he went to grab the lady's baby out of her pram. Yeah, she's come up to me and said, you've got to get this guy off the bus. He's trying to grab my baby out the pram.
The suspect, who hadn't validated or bought a ticket, was shirtless and wearing blue rubber gloves. He didn't initially flee the scene, instead taking a seat and sitting quietly at the back of the bus after the ordeal, but eventually took off by the time police arrived.
He stole the lady's baby and then immediately pressed it to his teat.
He did.
Yuck. It just reminds me of the Family Guy episode where Peter tries to breastfeed Stewie.
That's right.
I don't recall that one, but
man.
Boy, that's a level of insanity I don't think we've really ever discussed on this show.
I've never heard that one.
He lifted his shirt up and everything and put the baby's mouth on his...
Suckle from me.
Did the baby have any luck?
Not that I'm aware of.
No milk?
No life-giving sustenance.
That's really sick and crazy.
If my mom's listening and that ever happened to me on an Australian bus, just never tell me. I don't need to know that ever happened. A 35-year-old's been banned from a Georgia mall after licking and sucking the hair of an 18-year-old woman he didn't know. Arbor Place Mall is one of the larger shopping destinations in West Georgia. Shopper Joyce Taylor calls the incident gross.
I think that's gross, and I think I would have responded in a way that I probably would have been in jail today.
Shopper Dan Schauer thinks it's weird.
That's weird. I don't know. I don't know of anybody that licks hairs. That person shouldn't be around other people.
I agree on both parts.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going to be in the news today. Well, yeah, how come? I was condemning the act of licking hair at the mall.
Yeah,
this guy's never met a hair licker?
I've never even heard of one, to be honest. The suspect, Devin Davis, has also been charged with willful obstruction of law enforcement. Yeah, he just went up and started licking and sucking hair of a complete stranger.
I had a cat that would do that to me when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just like the
He was
hair
a hair
oils or something?
I don't know what the hell was wrong with
weird.
him. I have no idea what was wrong with him. He was a hair sucker and a hair licker. And then one day he left the house, he walked outside, he never came back.
A Queens man. I've licked all the hair I can here.
That's really how
moving on.
I barely got to know the sumbitch. I wish I could tell you more about the cat and maybe answer why he was obsessed with licking and sucking hair. But
Maybe it was this dude in a cat outfit or something.
I don't know. Yeah, he was an outdoor cat, and one day he looked at me as if to say, "Can I go outside?" And I let him outside and never came back.
A Queens man, Alexandre Leas, who wandered his Astoria building naked, masturbated in common areas, and screamed threats through a megaphone, has been evicted, and his neighbors are very happy about that. One resident said they are relieved, but still worried that Leas may return. The 48-year-old tormented neighbors by blasting loud noises and once threatened to burn the building down. He also damaged walls and his apartment door with a hammer. After being given time to collect personal items, he was escorted out. Officials warned him that he'd face trespassing charges if he returned and masturbated or walked around nude again. He blamed his neighbors and security for damaging his door, claiming people tried to break into his apartment, and that's why he reacted. He explained anytime he was naked in the halls, it was only because he accidentally locked himself out after checking on scary noises.
No one's buying that.
No. How do you do that once and not get evicted? That's a very forgiving landlord, more desperate to rent that unit.
Where was this? New York? New York? So, yeah, I bet he's some kind of big shot musician or artist or something like that.
He didn't give me that impression, but maybe. Crime statistics show more sickos are publicly pleasuring and exposing themselves on the streets of the Big Apple. Reports of pervs fondling themselves out in the open in New York soared 51% through June 30th, up to 378 complaints from 251 during the same period last year. Meanwhile, cops issued 159 criminal summons through June 30th citywide to New Yorkers whipping out their genitals, sometimes to urinate, a staggering 396% increase from the 32 tickets written last year. I don't know what it is. Everybody's pulling it out. Puddle of Mud's Wes Scantlin was arrested after a traffic stop turned into a tense standoff, with cops eventually using pepper spray to get the singer out of his car.
Isn't this guy kind of known to be squirrely?
Yeah, he has been.
Sounds like he has some issues. Yep. He's been in trouble a lot. Scantlin was arrested Wednesday after they pulled over his black Hummer H2 in Burbank for a traffic violation and asked for his ID. Officers say they found out Scantlin had an active warrant from a previous case of having a weapon at an airport. When they asked him to get out of the car, he said no. After several attempts, a crisis negotiator came to negotiate, but cops said he still wouldn't budge. Pepper spray was deployed, but even after that, he didn't decide to get out, so SWAT had to come in about 4 a.m. and break the windows to shoot non-lethal pepper balls inside this time, and finally got him to surrender. The Puddle of Mud front man was cited and released with a court date set for later this month.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he was looking at it as a career move.
I need a comeback.
Yeah, they got an album coming out?
What do you think, Cubby? Was it a career move?
I don't know. He's got a history of it, unfortunately. Oh. Yeah, it's too bad. An Arizona police officer received an award from Mothers Against Drunk Driving for his work to prevent DUIs. And he showed he's a man of the people by getting one of his own last week. Officer Zachary Hyde was arrested for driving under the influence Wednesday, just after midnight, the same thing he was busting other people for, actually at record paces. The details around the traffic stop aren't clear, but records show a trooper pulled him over after he was driving about 10 miles an hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone.
It's very disheartening to hear that someone who has so much experience and has witnessed the devastation caused by people getting behind the wheel impaired would make that choice and do it themselves.
He let a lot of people down, Cubby.
Yeah, he did. I mean, this guy was lauded as one of the best. A spokesperson for the Tempe Fire Department said the incident happened while Hyde was off duty. He's been placed on administrative leave pending their investigation. The department shared a post about Hyde's work with its DUI squad just over a month ago, and he was one of the officers honored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Ooh, that's awkward.
I bet you he doesn't show up with a case of beer at the next softball game. You know what I mean?
I hope not.
I bet he brings a 12-pack of Diet Right.
Hopefully, boy, I haven't thought about Diet Right in a while. An off-duty officer with the San Antonio Airport Police Department was arrested last week on suspicion of drunken driving. Deputies were called to a McDonald's last Monday night for a customer who passed out in the drive-thru lane. That will raise suspicions. The driver, identified as 36-year-old Ruby Tovar, was awake when deputies made contact with her, but the report said she was drunk. Slurred speech. They detected an odor of alcohol. She identified herself as an airport officer, yet she refused to participate in sobriety tests and was arrested. The San Antonio Airport Police Department placed her on administrative duty and is conducting an investigation into that incident. Police issued a warning about camouflaged cameras hidden in the shrubbery outside upscale suburban homes after one was found in Scarsdale, New York last week. Just the latest incident in a nationwide trend.
You always want to monitor your property for any sort of unusual things that might be going on.
Police in California have been warning about camouflage cameras for several weeks.
What are they doing? Looking in my window, watching me take a poop and whatnot? What do you mean?
They're trying to figure out your patterns when you leave, when you come back home.
Oh.
Near Boston, a camera was found hidden in shrubs outside a home, and 3 people were arrested after they used the camera to time a break-in for when the family was away. Back in Scarsdale, a homeowner doing yard work found the surprise in their shrubbery. Police said it was a camera camouflaged with fake greenery and hooked up to a cellular hotspot to broadcast surveillance video to parts unknown.
Criminals have taken advantage of the technology of the day to make it a little bit safer for them to monitor potential homes to be burglarized.
The police department said the group they're investigating is from South America, they believe. Video from a camouflage camera can help burglars monitor opportunities to break into homes or steal vehicles.
What the hell's the matter with these people, Cubby?
I don't know. I never heard of
Just leave us alone. Go find something to do, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I mean, you're proficient with technology. Maybe enter the technology field and do some good. Minneapolis-based magazine Game Informer is shuttering its operation after more than 3 decades. That's too bad.
That is too bad. I used to love that magazine.
I did too. You know, we used to have a great relationship with those guys. Not that anything went bad, but we just haven't communicated in a while.
What happened with our relationship there with the people at Game Informer? What happened?
They got too busy, I think. I don't know. It was fun, though. I mean,
Andy McNamara, right?
Yep. Yeah, awesome dude. Super awesome dude.
Is he still around?
I believe so.
I think so.
Andy McNamara.
Maybe he went into professional bicycling. Remember, he got into that big time?
He got into what?
Weight. bicycling.
Oh, I don't recall that.
Yeah, he was really into it.
All right, Game Informer, huh?
Yeah, founded back in 1991, it started as a newsletter for the video game retailer Funko Land, which was later bought by GameStop. In total, it published 367 issues and was one of the largest U.S. publications at one point, with a circulation of nearly 8 million at its peak. Employees were informed of the closure during a meeting on Friday. No reason was given for its shuttering. That's too bad. It was kind of iconic in the video game world.
Definitely.
Somehow I ended up with like 3 subscriptions to it. I'm not sure. That happened to anybody else?
No.
I don't know how that happened, but I get like 3 different ones every month. Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards, 23 today.
Oh.
NBA legend Patrick Ewing, 62. Happy birthday to Heather the Tricycle Jesus from his little bro OC Killer Jesus. Happy 32nd to Colin from I Love Dad Fights Jesus. And happy birthday to our pal and sports expert Brad Ryder. Happy birthday to you. And that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver
is a big humper, literally humping everyone. He is social, but he's more concerned about humping everybody.
on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
And the 800 still belongs to the one and only Katie Ledecky. Fitness with a silver, Madden with a bronze.
I just knew it was going to be a tough one. It wasn't going to be easy, and certainly was the case. And my goal each lap was to just try to inch ahead, keep the lead, and get my hand to the wall as quickly as I could.
Olympic glory. We'll be talking Olympic glory here shortly. First, hello, Randy Shaver.
Hello.
And like Josh said a few minutes ago, happy birthday, Brad Ryder.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you.
Get some, Brad.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like that's in the cards.
Turning 39 again today.
Get some.
Yes.
What does...
Who's screaming?
That's the guy. He's very excited that Brad's on the radio.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What does the lonely boy want for his birthday?
What do I want?
Think about it now.
World peace.
Start?
No, I don't know. Just a normal day with my family would be fine. So, yeah.
Good meal at a fair price?
Yeah, we're going to go somewhere tonight, the 4 of us. So,
are the 4 of you going out to the Cheesecake Factory or something?
We do not know where we're going yet, but I'll figure it out as the day goes on. We'll see what I'm in the mood for.
My guess is you're paying?
I'll take, if anybody wants to email in from any establishments in town and give me a birthday dinner, that would be great.
What's your address real quick on the air so we can mail you some birthday cards?
That's right down the street from Josh.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Brad Ryder.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, you're getting up there now. You're losing it a little bit?
56 today.
Do you feel like you're cracking up?
No.
Oh?
Okay. I actually feel better than I did probably 10 years ago.
Have you made some lifestyle changes, or why do you think that is?
No, I don't know why.
Stop drinking?
Stop drinking?
In all honesty, I loved all the times that I spent working with the couple sports teams in town that I did, but having my summers off really has given me a little bit more of a boost. It kind of revitalizes you a little bit and doesn't wear you down and refuels your tank a little bit. Randy knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Happy Brad, happy life.
Yeah.
We need a happy Brad Ryder on the telephone with us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Randy Shaver, can you think back to when you were 56? Can you remember when you were?
Sure. Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago. You and I are almost exactly 10 years apart.
You just had to slide that in.
Well, I could have been a Richard
Brad.
and said it was 20 years ago, but I didn't. I know that you're
Randy,
years older than me.
You are not 66 years old, are you?
I am 65 and a half, yes.
My God.
You look great.
I don't know.
I do.
No, I don't know.
It's all the modesty that keeps you looking good.
That's right.
That's great. When you say it out loud, that's crazy.
I know when you say it out loud. It's scary. It's not crazy.
I don't feel 56 at all. I feel younger than that to me. But
let me tell you something. Over the weekend, I was at my neighborhood bar, and there was a class of 1984 reunion going on in the bar when I was having a couple of Steve Weisers. And I got to say, the 1984 Wyzetta people, they're they've tapped into a fountain of youth or something. They look great for creeping up on 60 years old. I don't know what the hell, except for my buddy Tony. He looks like garbage.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
He was the one throwing the party. He's falling apart at the seams. But the rest of his classmates, I mean, specifically a few of the women walked in, and I said to my bros, because they had a little private room, you know.
No.
And these 4 or 5 women walked in, and I said, no way they're going to the class of 84 party. When they walked in, I was just like, oh, dude, we don't get a lot of that at my neighborhood bar. And I said, there's no way they're going to and then they took a left and went into the 84 party.
Wow.
It was the only time I've ever wished I was Tony.
That's insane that 2 years from now I've got my 40th. I mean, it just doesn't feel right either.
Man, I don't know what they did in 84. What did they do in 84, Josh? A lot of cocaine.
Yeah. Dance clubs, jazzercise, all
yeah,
kinds of
aerobics and cocaine.
All right, Brad, you were looking for recommendations on where in town to go have your birthday dinner.
Yeah.
Victor, the owner of Kitchen and Rail, recommends a restaurant. Can you guess which one? Kitchen and Rail.
Dude.
That's where you go for your birthday.
Kitchen and Rail?
Dinner.
Okay, I'll mark her down.
That's a hot spot.
When's the last time you went to Perkins?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm more of a, and the Egan people appreciate this, I'm more of the juniors trail stop. That's my vibe.
Trail stop.
Yeah,
awesome.
you will probably get a discount, though. That's the beauty of it.
Because I'm 50 over 55?
Yeah. Yeah.
Trail stop, that's where you find the MILFs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of known for that. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, why do you think Brad hangs out there?
I don't know.
The youth soccer moms.
I still like that open-faced turkey sandwich they serve at Perkins.
Yeah, a little chicken tender melt from Perkins,
That's usually
too.
what I get. That country club melt, that's pretty good.
I was actually, in all honesty, I was kind of thinking about, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to pimp them because they haven't given me anything, but I was thinking about going to Buffalo Tap and Savage. Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Well.
Oh, that's too far of a drive.
No, it's not too bad.
Whatever it is, Brad Ryder, have a good one on your
all right
56th birthday, you said?
Yep.
Lick me sideways. That's hard to believe. All right, the Chicago White Sox.
Can they stay in town for a while?
Well, can the Twins stay in town with the White Sox?
Right.
That would be nice.
They're terrible at baseball.
Oh, my God.
They're so bad.
Just start playing football.
The Chicago White Sox have now lost 20 in a row. The Twins smooth swept them out of town. 20 in a row is where they stand now on their losing streak. Yesterday, their long-ass game, a lot of hits, 26 hits. Twins won 13-7. Hell, they were up 8-0 in what, the second inning? Third inning?
Yeah,
I think they were up, 8-0 to start the third, yes.
The first inning was all you really needed to watch to see what was going on with the White Sox. Their pitcher walks 2 guys. The second baseman boots a routine ground ball that Josh and Ashley could have fielded.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
athletes on the show. Of course we could have fielded.
All of a sudden, it's 4-0 before you can blink your eye. I mean, seriously.
That's cold-blooded right there.
I'm glad Brad didn't use my name in a... This situation would have been so easy for somebody to do that even Dana could.
He forgets your ear.
But Dana, you took enough grief on Friday. I'm not going to pick on you today.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's nice.
Yes.
They could. Cubby and Ashley could have twisted that one, Brad says, but the White Sox kicked it around the ballpark. After it was 8-0, nobody paid much attention. I bet your beer sales went up because the game was over at that point. Or even beforehand, like Brad said, in the first, you could tell it was going to be a gong show for the White Sox. So if they lose one more game and they start a series tonight in Oakland, if they lose. Oh, I shouldn't say if they lose one more game. They have to lose consecutive. If they lose tonight, they will tie the all-time American League record from what I understand.
21 straight losses, correct.
If you're a fan, you want that to happen, right?
Yeah,
You've
I think
already
you do.
suffered this long.
Well,
Might as well make it count.
especially if you're an Oakland A's fan who's suffered through so much anyway. It's nice to see somebody else suffer.
Right. But Josh is right. If you're a Chicago White Sox fan, if it was happening to the Twins, we'd all be saying, you know what, F it. If you're going to be this bad, you might as well be the all-timers.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can't even lose right.
Right.
Who's willingly
good enough at losing to get the streak.
Who's willingly going to that Oakland-Chicago game tonight?
Oh, come on. You wouldn't go to see...
Maybe to see the record.
see history.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No, sure.
I don't know. I think I'd go to see history. Now, if I'm not mistaken, again, because, baseball goes back so many thousands of years, sometimes it's hard to... It was the 88 Orioles who lost 21 in a row to start the season, I believe. That's who Chicago is possibly going to tie tonight.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I had that right. Now, the National League record is 23 losses in a row. So if this is a 3-game series in Oakland that the White Sox are playing, I'm imagining it's a 3-game series, but I didn't look it up. If they're somehow swept, they'll tie the all-time. If you go back to 1899, blah, 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 F that. Let's keep it within the 1900s. You know what I mean? I'm not going to recognize an 1889 record of 26 losses in a row. Forget that. That wasn't even real baseball. So if they are swept by the A's, they'll tie. This is all very exciting. Very exciting. In their losing streak, they have been outscored 131 runs to 48.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Yesterday was quite an output. The fact that they put 7 runs on the board, I don't recall the last time they did that. So, what a story, and I'll be following it. I'm going to keep up with this. I like.
You like misery
and sadness.
27 and 87.
Yeah, that's why I want the streak to get to 27 straight losses, so they have as many losses in a row as they do wins.
There you go. That would be cool. They're 27 and 87?
Yes.
All right.
I'm just looking at the standings here, and they are 14 games behind the next team in line, like the second worst team in baseball.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're 14 games behind them.
Now the Twins left town to go to Chicago to play the friggin' Cubs, and they start that series tonight at 7 o'clock. David Festa will pitch for the Twins. Some folks get erect when the Twins play at Wrigley Field. I couldn't.
Sure.
They're playing at Wrigley Field.
It's iconic. Wrigley Field. Come on.
Byron Buxton ran into the wall yesterday. Word is he's doing fine. That wasn't so bad.
He's had worse.
He's had way worse. So there you effing go. Royce Lewis, he had a dong yesterday, 3-run dong. He's been the target of a lot of random drug tests lately, according to what I was reading yesterday. Friday night, he was late to his availability to the media after the game was over against Chicago. And he admitted that he was pulled aside for drug testing, and he had a fun comment about the drug tests. Lewis said about all these drug tests he's been taking, all they're going to find in these veins is ice cream, bro. I thought that was cute.
Yeah. That is funny.
Especially since he ended it with bro.
Yeah.
All they're going to find in these veins is ice cream. I like a bucket of ice cream now and again. By God, I do. Saturday, the Twins honored Joe Mauer and his induction into baseball's Hall of Fame. The next step, they say now, is a statue of Joe outside of Target Field.
Well, they have to name, don't they name a gate after him? All the gates are full, right?
Yeah.
So
somebody gets eliminated.
They got to knock a new hole in the wall and add a door.
Yeah, you got to add a door.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear about the gate ski.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like gate 6, gate 14.
Right.
Everybody.
No, I know the gimmick. Right? They're going to drop a bronze statue of Joe outside Target Field at some point next season.
That's fabulous.
That announcement was made on Saturday. I didn't see Joe's little speech. I didn't, but I heard he had the whole family in the stands, and they had a hell of a time.
And I think this weekend they're honoring Terry Ryan into the Twins Hall of Fame. So how fitting is that? He's the one that drafted Joe Mauer, made the decision that Mauer would be the number 1 pick. So.
What the hell? I hear you. Okay, Terry Ryan. Whenever I used to see Terry Ryan, back when he was running the Twins, pass him by at a ball game or see him out on the street somewhere. I always wanted to hand him a bucket of sunblock. Didn't have a lick of hair up on top of his head. And he always looked like he just sat in the stands for 11 hours scouting a player.
Yeah.
Get him one of those cool umbrella hats.
Yes.
I mean, a beer helmet, anything to keep the sun off the... You guys know him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I know him very well. He actually, Josh, he lives not far from us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a good man.
When he was on television, he was always a really good interview.
Yes. Very honest.
Yeah.
Very upfront.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember back the summer of 2020 when everything was kind of still a little bit shut down, but starting to open up a little bit. And some Legion baseball games were just starting up again. They weren't real organized, but they were. And my son was playing at Egan and went to the game that night, and there's this guy sitting out, there's old guy, or it looked old to me anyway, sitting out behind the right field fence and walking by him, and I went back out to my car to get something. It was Terry, and he's just sitting there
checking out the town ball.
Yeah, he was bored, obviously, like the rest of society at that point, and he's like, "Hey, I saw a ball game as I was driving by, so I thought I'd stop by." That's what he is. He likes watching baseball.
Baseball lifer.
A couple of people texted in on that comment from Royce Lewis about having ice cream in his veins. Josh, if they cracked you open, if they drug tested you, what would they find? Mainly in your veins, would it be leftover enchiladas?
Leftover enchiladas, which I'm on my way home to today. And then Diet Mountain Dew, I think.
Did you guys know that Josh's wife makes enchiladas like 4 or 5 nights a week?
Well, she makes them Sundays, right? And makes a ton of them, so I just go through the
good.
week.
If she does it right, that's good stuff.
That's good eating.
I think they would find in my veins 100% double butterburger cheeseburger.
Definitely.
You're an everyday guy, aren't you, Randy?
I'm pretty much.
This is a
used
compliment.
to be.
How do you look like that when you eat there every day?
Liposuction.
If I ate there every day, I would not look anything close to what I do.
Right?
We mentioned earlier the third no-hitter of the big league season happened on Friday night with Blake Snell throwing one for the San Francisco Giants. That's his first no-no.
First pitch to De La Cruz. He hits a fly ball, right center.
Get out of here, ball.
Yastrzemski has it!
Get out of here.
And Blake Snell has pitched the first no-hitter of his brilliant career.
Oh, they caught it. Yastrzemski caught it. There you go. 114 pitches, walked 3, struck out 11. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of been struggling, to kind of find himself this year after having such a great year last year. Got off to a terrible start and everything else that he was going through. So, pretty impressive.
He's like, what? Were we talking about him last week, or did you mention this, John? This rings a bell. How tall is Blake?
I thought he was like 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". I looked it up.
What do you suppose he weighs? 170 pounds?
He's pretty thin.
The guy's a bean. I don't know how the hell these guys... Okay, speaking of pitchers, if you believe all of the radar guns that they prop up in big league ballparks, I think some of it is amped up a little bit just so fans will touch themselves. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you buy the radar guns? You do?
Oh, I do.
Okay. All right. I always thought, oh, come on. They're just trying to get to... A Los Angeles Angels reliever threw the fastest pitch of the season. He goes by the name of Ben Joyce. On Saturday, he recorded his first save. Wonderful. In the 9th, he gave her hell against Mets batter by the name of J.D. Martinez. Oh, I know who J.D. Martinez is. Yeah. In the at-bat against J.D. Martinez, apparently this Joyce kid threw a 103.7-mile-per-hour fastball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Say goodnight to the Mets. Ben Joyce's fastest pitch yet. 104.7, blown by Martinez for his first major league save. And the Angels beat the Mets in a great game, 5-4.
All right, sorry. Yes, his first pitch was 103.7. The strikeout pitch that Josh just played for you was 104.7, which I believe was Wasn't that a hot rockin' 104 back when we were kids?
Was it 0.7 or was it 104.1?
It was 1.
It wasn't.
I listened to Hot Rockin' 104 when
Me
I was
too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's impressive.
I might ask Dick Bramer about this. If he buys the radar guns. I didn't think I was the only one. I thought that many other people thought that stuff was...
No, there's a little conspiracy out there that maybe they're jacked up a little bit.
Okay. I mean, what's next? The guy's arm is just going to...
Yeah,
I mean,
fall smooth off.
Yeah.
The arm goes with the ball.
Yeah.
His celebration was pretty cool. He was jacked, man.
I missed
See how
it.
pumped he was?
No.
Yeah.
What did he was just doing, like,
Kinda,
screaming his nuts off?
Super wide. How would you explain this?
Oh.
How do you explain something like that?
Okay, Josh just imitated how this Joyce guy celebrated. Kind of reminds me of like, when Roman Reigns enters the ring. That's what your imitation looked like. It looked like what do they call him now? The bloodline man or something?
The head of the table.
The head of the,
one true chief or one tribal chief or something.
All right. 104.7 miles per hour. That's a lot of heat, Randy Shaver.
I think he was just called up too, right? This is like a young guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's 23.
Yeah, he wasn't on the major league roster to start the season, and they called him up. So,
what do you think happens if that 104.7 mile per hour baseball hits you in the penis?
No.
What do you think happens?
You no longer have a penis.
Does it just tear it? Does it tear it right off of your body?
It just disappears.
That could be so bad.
I bet the swelling might be kind of impressive. But
what if somehow you're able to swing your penis out of the way and it catches you right in the taint?
Speaking of which,
I think that could kill a guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you happen to see the pole vaulter?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there, Randy. Don't.
Okay.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Oh my God!
I wanted to tell you one more baseball note.
Okay.
Because it's funny.
By the way,
I'm gonna have to look this up.
By the way, the Joyce kid has already thrown in 20+ games, so he's fairly
okay.
He's been around for a little bit.
All right. We're going to get to this pole vaulter. But this was funny enough. I didn't want to.
Speaking of pole vaulting.
That's right.
I didn't want to ignore this story because I really liked it. Justin Turner, brand new Seattle Mariner.
Yeah.
Playing at the home ballpark over the weekend. He hit a grand slam, and the baseball hit a Mariners fan in the face.
Oh, no.
That looked like it hurt.
In his face.
Did he not? Obviously didn't see it.
No, he's kind of wandering around the concourse or whatever.
Please tell me he was like carrying nachos or something, too.
I didn't
No, I don't think so. The camera angle wasn't the best.
Hit him right in his mug.
It looked to me like he was watching what was going on. I don't know if he just froze up or what.
Saw a gal in a jean skirt or something at the last minute. Kerplunk. Right in his mind.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
I hope whoever caught the ball at least gave it back to him. Like, you deserve this as a souvenir.
Yeah, don't be a prick. You know, that guy should walk out of there with something other than a concussion. All right. We're still going now with the Summer Olympics. It ain't over. Not by a long shot.
Another week.
I saw Josh putting his Uncle Sam mascot outfit back in a plastic storage bin, and I told him, dude, it ain't over. But he still put the outfit back, and he brought out his Mark Spitz fake mustache. That's what he's going to wear for the rest of the and his Jackie Joyner Kersey running shoes. That's the outfit he's going with. Team USA says here, had a big weekend at the Olympics. Oh, by God, it was a big weekend. I'll go as fast as I can here. They won 6 medals on Friday. 3 silver medals in shooting and equestrian and swimming. 3 bronze medals in sailing, archery, track and field. Saturday, 18 more medals. 5 of them gold. Simone Biles won the vault. Ryan Krauser, 3rd straight
Shot put.
gold medal in the men's shot put. You guys know what
Ryan Krauser, we cannot overlook how special that man is.
8 consecutive global championships, including Paris. He has won a medal at
every one of them. The most consistent American shot putter in history and the greatest shot putter in history has won his third consecutive Olympic gold. Ryan Krauser, the Olympic champion once again as he reigns in Paris.
Sound like more of a cliche sports announcer. Anyway, I'm sorry, you guys didn't agree with that? Did you hear that guy?
Yeah,
Ryan Krauser
right. Well,
wins his third consecutive. Anyway. I was surprised by that because the guy's so slightly built.
Yeah, he's more about the speed of the spin.
Jesus, my sarcasm sucks today. The guy's massive, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but he's about the speed of the spin. I mean, he generates so much power when he releases that shot put. It's pretty impressive.
We looked this up at the bar. We looked this up. Do you guys know what the shot put weighs there at the Olympics?
Oh, yeah, we looked it up too.
16
pounds?
pounds?
That's right,
Yeah.
16 pounds. Jeez. Mm-hmm. That's what I bowl with. Right? Isn't that the number on my bowling bar? That's the pounds, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm chugging a bowling ball.
Jesus, criminy. Let's see. Katie Ledecky keeps winning. 9 gold medals now.
She's so
Two
awesome.
Americans trying to get on the podium here. Ledecky is pulling away from Titmus in the end. And the 800 still belongs to the one and only Katie Ledecky. First woman in history to win 4 Olympic golds in the same event in any sport.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, what everyone's talking about is the 100-meter foot race, where an American athlete named Noah Lyles won, but by only 5 1,000ths of a second. I saw the race. It was a hell of a deal.
It was the lean. It's all about the lean.
Yeah.
I think it was Defector.com that said he won by a single skin cell.
There's an Olympic gold medal waiting for somebody who wants it the most. This is close. Jamaica's going to do it on debut. They're working on the photo. Noah Lyles is looking anxiously. It's Noah Lyles. And it had to go to a photo finish to decide it.
I watched it on television, and I thought the Jamaican dude won.
Yeah.
But they did the photo damn finish. And
Yeah, it's where your chest crosses the line.
Yeah.
It's not your foot. It's not. It's your chest.
Yeah, I think the Jamaican guy's foot maybe got across first, but yeah.
It's your
chest.
torso.
Yep.
That was a hell of a deal. Men's basketball, the U.S. team was eliminated. How do I say this? The 3-on-3 men's basketball team is done, in case anybody was wanting to see more of that hot action. They're all done. And here's what Randy was getting at. A French pole vaulter. And this is like the ultimate clickbait, I guess, but whatever. It's fun. It's fun. A French pole vaulter failed one of his attempts because his pee-pee got hung up on the bar.
He's got to learn to talk better.
Okay?
Hard to tuck it when it's...
I don't know.
It looked like his knees actually knocked it off.
Oh, stop it, Brad.
Brad, let us have our fun.
That's what happened, but yeah, it's more fun when it's
Well,
weird.
Stop it, Brad.
The rest of them definitely took it down.
Brad, let the well-hung characters have their moment in the sun.
Exactly, Brad.
Yes, his foot knocked the thing off the thing, but in the video, his dong kind of got hung up on the thing, so let's just go with dong.
Kinda. It did get hung up.
It was like, boy, yo, 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 yo.
Exactly.
It's like he perfectly hooked himself on it.
Wow.
Well,
I'll tell you what, that was
really paying
impressive.
attention. He was trying to clear the 5.70 meter pole vault, but his bulge caught on the pole, and that was the end of that, and everyone's going crazy over this.
Not only did it get caught, but it moved the bar, which is so impressive.
It broke the bar.
It broke the bar.
Yeah, it broke the bar.
I don't know
half,
how he got up after that.
And a kid in the third row was blinded. Yes, it was unbelievable what this man's penis accomplished during one pole vault attempt.
If you're not going to make the Olympics, that's how I want to go out. You're
Exactly.
not going to medal.
He should medal
Not
for
going to
that.
medal. Yes.
He should medal.
Yeah, you know, the pole vault. Guys, friggin' Johnson got in the way of a medal.
Guy gets back to the Olympic Village just hoping and praying everybody saw the highlights, or all the ladies did at least,
Exactly.
you know? Hey, did you catch the pole vaulting by chance?
And if they didn't, just tell them about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to remember that from this Olympics.
Now, a judo match apparently went sideways at the Olympics when one dude kicked another dude in the pills after the match was over. Now, I watched the video, but I can't tell what's going on because I don't know what's normal behavior during a judo fight and what isn't. I've never seen a judo
I'm glad that you say that
fight.
because I couldn't figure out what happened really either,
No,
other than just what the story said.
I do not understand what's happening when judo people are fighting, so I don't. One of these guys, he's from Georgia, he was kicked out of the games for kicking his competitor in the seeds. One dude got a judo kick to the seeds. Comment from the folks in charge here, the International Judo Federation. They said in a statement, the behavior of the Georgian judoka was completely against the spirit of judo. Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
That's the spirit of radio.
That's an old Rush song, the spirit of judo. I'll tell you what, Cubby, I'd like to judo kick someone's face loose. I know I've expressed that before. I love martial arts. I want to be a walking lethal martial arts weapon one day.
Yeah, that is the dream, isn't it?
I just need a Mr. Miyagi type character to show me how. Or a Daniel LaRusso, or a
Johnny Lawrence?
Donnie Lawrence. Don't you kind of wish you had that skill set?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
Of course.
I don't want to do anything to achieve it, but I would love to have it.
You just wake up in the morning.
It's just the Matrix. I know judo.
Yeah, you know how some people, they claim they woke up and they have an Irish accent that they can't kick?
Yeah.
Or they can speak a new language that they've never learned.
Yes.
I want that with judo.
Yeah, man. Or whatever you want to bless me with. Karate, judo, what are the others?
Well, I wouldn't mind having what that pole vaulter had going on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good.
That's something you probably, at this point in your life, you probably got to work for that too. You got to buy one of those kits.
Subscription service nowadays.
Have you ever bought one of those kits?
No, I didn't even know they sold
sell them
something
in the
like
back of the dirty magazines.
The little vacuum type
Yeah,
things?
what? I get all kinds of things now. You get all kinds of things. Whoa! One buddy of mine just kind of hung his car keys off of it for a couple of weeks.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Just take a couple of fishing waders.
You're a fishing waiter. All right, so yeah, I'd like to be a judo killer. Last week, weren't we talking about how American Olympic athletes, you know, they really don't get a lot for their achievements, at least according to most people. 30 grand, is that what we heard? Maybe, I don't know. Can you guys
Yeah,
refresh?
something around there. Yep.
You know, boy, some of these other folks are hooked up. I was reading about a Philippines gold medal gymnast. I don't know what his specialty was or is. His name is Carlos Yulo. Is that right? Is he Carlos Yulo or is he Carlos Yulo?
Story said Yulo.
Oh, Christ, that's kind of cool. He was gifted a house.
What?
By the Philippines government. Hang on, Wapple. Was that Wapple?
Yeah.
He won a gold medal or two. Someone look up what Carlos Yulo does so well that he won a gold medal.
Oh, it's just a single Yulo. They added a Yulo here.
Oh.
Looks like he's a gymnast, kind of does everything.
Oh, everything?
Uneven bars, even bars.
All right, fair enough. He does everything.
Well, he wouldn't do
Vault.
uneven bars. That's not for men.
Oh.
Oh, I thought that was.
All right. Bars.
High bar.
The Philippines has never had a multiple gold medal winner. So now that Yulo has won a couple of them, they're just falling all over the guy. They're giving him a house. He's going to get some cash. He's going to get free ramen for life.
Oh, that's the plug.
It actually says here he gets 2 houses.
What?
Yeah.
You got a vacation home?
Yeah, he's got one regular house and one
condo.
and a condo.
Dude.
He gets the equivalent of $173,000 U.S. money. Well, more than that. Over $200,000. A lifetime, I'm not making this up. He also gets a lifetime of free colonoscopies and gastroenterology consultations once he turns 45. He's only 24 years old.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Free fingerings once he turns 45 with lube.
Because after you've had one, you just want another one and another
That's
one.
the gift that keeps on giving right there.
He gets some free furniture. And like I said, a lifetime of free ramen, free buffets, and free meals from numerous local establishments. And I don't know what this means. A lifetime of free engineering design. I don't have any idea what that. What does that mean? They decorate his house? What does that mean?
Well, I looked it up, and it there's a couple things. There was a landscaping, and there was HVAC. So I don't know.
That goes hand in hand with the colonoscopy.
That's impressive.
Yeah, some company over there.
His wife says, well, what do we get for free today? Is it the HVAC people? No, it's another colonoscopy. What the hell? Did you guys hear all that?
That's impressive.
This guy's the biggest star the Philippines have ever seen. Well, I guess maybe second to Manny Pacquiao, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I can't even believe it. Someone tells me the Cookie Monster was at the Olympics yesterday.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Got a picture of Katie Ledecky.
And, he stopped by to see Snoop Dogg, of course, and Martha Stewart. I don't know if anyone saw that. I guess they had a great time together.
Yeah, they
Cookie
had some fun.
Monster and Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg.
They were dressed in the fancy horse outfits and whatnot, whatever. That jockey outfits, I don't know what they were wearing.
Yeah, equestrian.
It was like fancy. Like they could go to a fancy dinner afterwards.
Yeah, they look good.
I know some people.
Martha Stewart and the Cookie Monster baking cookies.
That was for her birthday. I think she turned 83. Yeah.
I know some people have some Snoop Dogg fatigue, but I did see one really funny post where a guy says, my mom called me to tell me how much she was enjoying watching Snoop Dogg on the Olympic coverage, and I had to remind her that I once got grounded for buying one of his CDs.
My main man, Jose Torres.
It is.
You mean he's too willing and dealing in gold medal fulfilling? Watch this twist right here. Bang, bang. Now give me the big one. This is the big fish right here. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me, Jose. Wind it up. Ooh, now that was fly right there. I don't even know what to call that.
That's Snoop Dogg calling Olympic BMX, which, of course, automatically makes it the greatest and most important thing that's ever happened to the sport of BMX. Where was I going with this? I had something and I lost it. What were we talking about? The guy with the house. Oh, Cookie Monster. Josh and I, like anyone, we were big Cookie Monster fans since we were kids. But when we really fell in love with him was when he sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at Wrigley Field. If anyone can find that audio, that was the finest rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" that they ever put on at that garbage stadium in that terrible city. when Cookie Monster sang "Take Me Out to the Ball," it made us fall in love with him all over again.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was perfect.
Somebody tells me breakdancing is coming up now, because over the weekend I watched a lot of Olympics. I really did, and I got to say I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I've never been a big Summer Olympics guy. I watched a little bit of everything, and I've really liked it. And I said to somebody, I haven't seen a lick of breakdancing yet. Well, the word is it's coming up.
I watched some of it on Friday.
Oh, I missed it.
It was really cool because they don't, or at least what I was watching is they're like going against each other. It's not just like them doing their thing.
Oh,
and then
no,
you
that's
get
how we
judged.
did it back in the 80s, Ashley.
Yeah, you got to try to serve somebody.
And it's funny seeing it in the Olympics, like these dudes being like, yeah, like what you got, bro. It's so great.
Did they kind of like get chest to chest and
that vibe.
What's the word I'm looking for? They were there's a word.
I watched some this morning. Was one of the dudes shirtless? Or did I just watch something completely different?
I can't remember.
Either way, it was impressive.
Posturing is the word I was coming up with. So they talk a little trash. They get kind of heated up before they do their back spins.
Yeah, I think it was really fun to watch.
On 2. On 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
It's Cookie Monster, Brad.
Party some peanuts and cracker jack. Me not care if me ever get back for his root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you out and the old ball game.
That's
I
right.
love him.
That's beautiful.
Me don't care if me ever get back.
That's the
right.
best part, yeah.
All right, thank you, Wolfpack Softball Jesus. I was watching Magic Mike, not the breakdance.
You watch Magic Mike without me? That's our movie, Josh.
It wasn't on purpose. I thought it was the Olympics.
Oh, jeez.
Here's a really interesting story from over the weekend, by God, or at least I thought it was. I don't have any idea who Morgan Wallen is or what it means to be at one of his or her concerts.
Very popular.
Yes, I love him.
New age country.
I do know this. Some mental case got thrown out of a Morgan Wallen concert in Kansas City over the weekend for threatening to shoot 2 members of the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right.
I don't know who those 2 members of the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know.
I thought it was Kelsey and Mahomes.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, they were at the show.
Oh.
So that was, I guess maybe I just assumed that.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's not a. So this is one of the elements of the story that grabbed me. Law enforcement officials were monitoring threats at the concert when they saw a Twitter account belonging to a dude named Aaron Brown had made a threat towards the 2 members of the Chiefs who were at the show. Monitoring threats at the concert. So cops will kind of hover on Twitter and see what.
Yeah.
That's really.
Sure.
I'd never heard of something like that. This Aaron Brown character, who must be troubled in some terrible way, was contacted by the police. He confirmed he was there, and they took him out of there. The concert was delayed for 40 minutes while he was located. So they were
Wow.
obviously
Sure. Taking it serious.
threatened to kill. So he threatened to kill or shoot Mahomes and Kelsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Mahomes, Kelsey, and Chris Jones was also there.
That is effed up. Just be careful what you tweet when you're at a big Gordo Wahlberg. What the hell's the name of the guy?
Morgan Wallen.
Isn't Wallen like the
Gordo
biggest
Wahlberg.
country music star right now? I thought he was
Oh, he's
absolutely
massive.
Yeah, he's pretty up there right now.
Never heard his name said out loud.
He's got a great new song with Posty. I need some help.
Post Malone or
To be
is
honest,
it called Post?
I kind of hate that song.
Yeah, Post Malone. Oh, I love it.
What happened? On this date in 1976, the NBA merged with the American Basketball Association, absorbing their 4 most successful teams: the Denver Nuggets, the Indiana Pacers, the San Antonio Spurs, the New York Nets, and the Flint Tropics. You remember the old days.
Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
I love the ABA days.
Yeah.
I grew up with the ABA, yeah.
Did they put that on ABC's Wild World of Sports?
It was. They televised those games, yes,
So
back in the day.
you were able to watch a little bit of it when you were a young kid.
Yes. Fell in love with it. I mean, the red, white, and blue basketball was that was the thing back in the day.
That's what Josh and I use on our Papa Shot home games.
Yes,
We use the
exactly.
red, white.
It's awesome.
Here's a listener that says Morgan Wallen is for dudes who shotgun cans of Mountain Dew.
I can see that.
But you guys are who's a fan?
I love him.
You love it? Okay. All right, that's the first for me. All right, what else is going on? That's about it, I suppose, for the day. I mean, it's Brad's birthday. We should give the guy a friggin' break.
Did we ever figure out what happened on Friday?
No.
That was a quick answer.
They claimed they were calling in and just couldn't get through for some reason. So,
Oh.
We don't know.
We've had issues with our phones before, so maybe that's part of it.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, sarcasm.
No, remember a couple of weeks ago we had to have Dick Bramer call the request line because the hotline wasn't going through.
If folks are wondering what we're talking about, we were supposed to have another fresh edition of Who Dis. We were waiting for a phone call from the Who Dis person, however a grown man should say that.
Well, if you look at it this way, that was the ultimate edition of Who Dis because we didn't even know.
We're just carrying.
We're still waiting.
Carrying the drama on.
It's the biggest build-up ever.
That's right.
We were waiting for a call from the Who Disser, and it never came in, and I was really upset. And you're right. We have had problems in the past with our phone lines. But, Josh, we've also had problems in the past with our coworkers.
Well, it was a toss-up on Friday. You're right. You never know.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if Dana was coming back from Colorado or should stay there.
I listened back to the segment. I kind of just started visualizing like, all right, this is where I live now.
This is a beautiful spot.
We'll get to the bottom of that, Randy Shaver. Happy birthday, Brad Ryder.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brad.
Appreciate it.
We will talk again very, very soon. You gentlemen have a wonderful day. Text us if you feel funny. Our Dr. Bud is on his way. Hope it doesn't mind me calling him Bud.
Oh, I think you'd like that.
Yeah.
That's been a problem in this building before, calling someone.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Of course it has.
Call somebody buddy around here. They'll light you up. Our doctor friend is on his way. He can help advise you on any health issue you're currently dealing with. 651-989-9393. Dr. P. Jesus is next up.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you tired of losing your fantasy football league year after year? Lindsey Rhodes, Emmy-winning sportscaster and football analyst, is your new secret weapon on the Believe Fantasy Football Show.
Watch the quarterbacks and his ADP. I think he has massive high-end upside.
Get expert analysis on player rankings.
Wide receiver 22 in fantasy, Cecil Shorts.
That kid can run, so I'm thinking he can have a breakout season this year.
And you can too by searching the Believe Fantasy Football Show. That's BLEAV wherever you listen.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Dr. P. Jesus. Welcome to the Half-Assed Morning Show.
93X.
All right, welcome back to the program. And welcome back, Dr. James Parnell, known amongst the mighty brother and sisterhood as Dr. P. Jesus. Text us if and you have a question about your general health, 651-989-9393. What's going on, Dr. P?
Oh, hey, let me turn on my microphone.
Got
yeah. Nothing much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back. You look kind of sun-drenched or something. Did you spend some time out of doors?
I was outside a bit over the weekend. I have another foster puppy, and so I was at a couple events with him. One of them was actually interesting. It was on Saturday. The Warrior Dog Rescue was working with the Vikings, so I was at the Vikings training camp on Saturday. For a big event. It was cool.
They didn't fit you for some shoulder pads?
They did not offer to have me do anything.
Hanging out at the Vikings training.
How many dogs show up there?
I think there
Is
were
it a lot?
I think there were about 50 dogs from the rescue there. We had just had a transport come in last weekend from Alabama. So I have a lovely little fellow named Christopher. He's a year old. Border Collie mix, needs a home. Take a look at warriordogrescue.com. But yeah, I was there on Saturday.
That's the one that's shacking up with you for now. Christopher, the Border Collie mix.
Yep. He's a pretty good boy, actually.
Most of Christophers I know would prefer to be called Chris. Have you cleared this with the dog yet?
I
know a Christopher that wants to be Christopher.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's kind of ambivalent about it. It seems, but I feel bad calling him Chris just because he was given the name Christopher by the rescue, so I feel like I need to honor that.
No, I understand.
If he's adopted and they keep that name, they can decide what to.
My favorite realtor is a Chris with a K. Were you aware of this?
You know, it's funny. I have joked around with a couple people about little Christopher here, and he's Christopher not with a K.
Well, we are part of what we were told is a failed adoption, or wait, a failed foster.
Foster failure.
Yeah,
yep.
foster failure. Yep. We were just told that's what it's called because we are fostering to eventually own a dog.
You are?
Yeah.
You have another one?
We do.
Oh, wow.
It
Yeah.
kind of happened quickly. It just dropped in our laps pretty much, so.
Another Great Dane?
Yeah, failed foster.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty common phenomenon. Honestly, the rescue organization, it's okay, but they really do need fosters to remain fosters so that they don't really want us to fail, but there's plenty of people who fail, keep some, and then
I'm surprised you haven't yet.
You know, it is tough, but I'm perfectly good with one dog, and bringing another one in and having him full time would just, I don't know, it just changed the dynamic. So, but it's
so those dogs, those foster dogs, when you send them off to their forever home, as everyone says these days, they don't give you that look.
You know,
not like a what the hell?
You must not be that enjoyable to live with, maybe.
I thought we were bros.
Right. It is sad. I mean, especially the puppies that I had earlier in the year. You know, there were tears and stuff, but because you get attached to them.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
This is a great text. Wait a minute. He's a doctor and he fosters puppies? Jesus, dude, my wife listens. He's also got a Mustang.
He does.
That's true.
And he's a talented pickleball player.
No doubt.
You're the total package.
That number is 651-989-9393. If you have a question for Dr. P, I got one sitting right here in front of me. And it deals with dandruff. I'm a 40-year-old dude. I've started getting a buildup of dandruff on both my scalp and my beard. I've used every anti-dandruff shampoo, something called Nizorol, but it still doesn't go away. Why, and you have to be a little older to understand this, why does it look like that scene from The Breakfast Club when I rub my beard?
Oh, I didn't know you could get face dandruff. Is it the same thing as you get on your head?
It's a good point.
Yeah, I don't remember that scene though. Did somebody scratch their?
There's Ali Sheedy, right?
Yeah, the Ali Sheedy character, who's kind of the dark sider loner gal. Yeah. She shakes her hairdo out, and the dandruff decorates a picture she made of Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of dandruff.
Yeah,
Oh my God, I'll have to watch that again. Yeah, it is. It's the same process. I mean, basically, dandruff is. The medical term for it is seborrheic dermatitis. And it essentially, if skin is, is dead on the surface, and we are constantly making more skin and shedding more skin, and the rate at which you're making it and shedding it should basically equalize. If it doesn't, then you get layers of dead skin built up, and that's basically what happens with dandruff on your scalp or on your beard. There's certain skin types, probably just genetically, that are more prone to it. And for whatever reason, some people do develop it later in life. Over-the-counter things that can work, a couple, or at least one was mentioned there. Nizorol is an over-the-counter version of an antifungal, actually, which seems weird because there's not necessarily fungus involved, but some of the antibiotics and antifungals have an anti-inflammatory process or property that helps shed that extra skin. Obviously, things like Selsun Blue and Head and Shoulders, there's a couple different chemicals in those that help shed that extra skin more quickly. If those things aren't working, then it's time to go see your primary care doctor, because there's basically prescription strength versions of all of those products that you can't buy over the counter. That
they don't make a head, face, and shoulders.
They don't. But
now, are you saying that any part of your body that grows hair can get dandruff?
It seems like it's mostly head and face.
Can you get glandruff, where it's just down in your private area?
You probably can. That's a good question. Why is it? I don't know why it
what
seems
if I
to be
have
more of an issue.
I have hairy hands. Can I get handruff?
Right.
Or
it does seem like it's mostly on the scalp and face that I can think of.
Did anyone have problems with that when they were kids? Because did you really?
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah, why was that? Do you think?
I don't know.
All of what Dr. P was just saying, I guess, explained it. But
yeah, I used to get it bad.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
It was embarrassing.
And you'd wear
gave me a bit of a lift.
You'd wear a black T-shirt to school, and
I would choose shirts that would hide it better.
Did they kick your ass?
Not for that reason.
Oh.
Well, maybe just add that to the list.
Yeah.
That was just so far down the list.
We're doing this because of this, that, and
I mean,
your
even me,
dandruff.
I could think of 10 things that would be better to get my butt kicked for. This is from Not Saying My Name, Jesus. I'm having discharge coming from my bum hole. What could be the cause of it?
That's no big deal. Next question.
Right. No problem.
Don't worry
there.
about it.
What the hell are you worried about?
Discharge. It doesn't say anything about the nature of the
No, it doesn't.
Color. Nothing about the color or the
aroma?
The substancy. What's the word?
Viscosity?
No, the
Consistency?
Consistency. I knew there was a word there, Summers.
Yeah. Well, boy, discharge. I mean,
boy, that sucks.
Presumably, yeah. I guess if somebody describes it as that, you would think if it was leakage, they would probably use a different word. So discharge, you tend to think of, whitish stuff.
No, I'm not trying to.
Purulent material. I mean, basically,
The people at Fruit of the Looms are buying cabins off of this guy. He's buying so much on. You know what I'm talking about?
I hope the dude that texted earlier, his wife isn't listening because she's going to leave him. But yeah, I've had that before.
Oh,
and I was told it was hemorrhoids.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the most likely thing that's going to cause some kind of irritation and drainage, and sometimes it's just because of where they are, it's hard to clean yourself completely. Just because it's 3-dimensional and there's contours, and when you're using toilet paper, it's a little hard to get to that. But there could be an infection, something more serious. You can get things called fistulas down there, which are, I mean, that's a whole nother ballgame where instead of something like a hemorrhoid, which is sticking out, you get an infection into like a gland.
You guys ever let anyone put a fistula down there?
No.
All right.
Yeah, different kind, but yeah, it's basically a tract through the skin that can actually go deep and it really be a bad thing. So. As we always say, it's obviously something that's embarrassing to go to the doctor about. But trust me,
for sure.
Primary care doctors, we look at that stuff all the time.
You love it.
We do. We love it. You're like, oh, really? That's awesome. You're not here with a cold, a cough, or high blood pressure or diabetes. You've got discharge. We love that.
Oh, you know what? I guess it would be a break from the norm, wouldn't it?
It is.
That's a great way to look at it.
So it really is, yeah. Please
Josh,
go
do you
and get
remember
checked.
how you said it when you first informed your doctor of what was happening to you? Do you remember how you said it? Were you very ginger about it, or?
I was embarrassed, certainly,
Yeah.
and I canceled a few appointments before I actually went in. And I did a lot of Googling, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and all those things you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And I actually, to be honest, I got it's probably this. So they didn't do anything other than I got the fistula, Well, it's more two fingulas a lot.
Yeah. Usually we limit it to
Did you go through a lot of drawers?
Yeah, pretty much. It was, it wasn't like, again, I hope that guy's wife's not listening because she's going to leave him. It didn't really go all the way out there.
You didn't
Son
need
of a
man
bitch.
ponds?
I didn't need man ponds.
I know what you mean. I do. I know what you mean. That sounds like a terrible problem.
Yeah, it's no fun. But he did kind of say, like, dude, he gave me one of those when I explained everything that was going on.
Yeah. So somebody needs to take a look and give some guidance.
I'll take a look.
More than one person, I would recommend. Maybe just get the whole office in there.
Exactly.
Wave everybody in to get a look at this. All right. While we're in that general area, we're talking with Dr. P. Jesus here. He likes to swing by every couple of weeks and try to help you out with your health issues while we're down in that general area. I can be very gullible at times. I don't know when folks are playing with me or not. But I got a text message, something about women using testosterone to enlarge their clitoris. Does any of that make sense?
Wow. I mean, so intentionally, I guess.
I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about.
Does that?
I mean,
does that increase pleasure down there? Is that the gist of what we're talking about?
I mean, that would presumably be the idea that they would be going for, but.
So you've never heard of such a thing?
I mean, I think that can be masculinization of female, characteristics happens if women are on testosterone. I mean,
okay,
that can happen if you're on it for. I mean, there's hardly any medical reasons that would happen, but it can be a side effect of anabolic steroids in women who are athletes and stuff. But I'm not sure that. I mean, it could cause basically the clitoris is analogous in terms of embryology to the head of the penis. So if there's more testosterone, it starts to become a bit more like that, which means
is it tough for doctors to find like it is for men?
I'm not really familiar with any medical reason to go hunting for that at the office.
Oh, really? It's not like an annual clitoris hunt you guys have?
No. Yeah, it's just not on the checklist of items. But no, so I don't know. It might make it larger. I don't know whether that actually leads to anything positive. I would think if anything, it might decrease sensation or change it.
Oh, really? Why decrease out of curiosity?
I guess I'm just not sure why it would increase it.
And you look a little different in your lingerie.
I mean, you could. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure.
So does that work for...
I guess I'm thinking it's like, you've only got a certain number of nerve endings, so it's kind of diluting the nerve ending to tissue ratio if it gets larger.
Interesting. Hey, you did your best. It's the first I've heard of it.
But yeah, that's pretty wild to want to do that on purpose.
Does that work for men then?
Yeah, what can we do? What do we
do?
Well,
we enlarge our clitoris?
No, because the thing is, basically, this is a little bit of a weird way to think about it, but so if you have an embryo this is a good example. So there's
before you go on, Dr. P, this individual got back to me and said there's something on Reddit about this where women talk about how it increases the sensitivity and the arousal.
All
right, so that's...
Yeah, but I mean, taking testosterone supplements has a whole host of possible problems and things. So, but as an embryo, if you're... what's the simplest way to do this? There's a thing called testosterone insensitivity syndrome, where basically a fetus is genetically going to be a female, but they have a receptor defect that doesn't allow testosterone to have an effect on the body. So the child is developing in the uterus and comes out, and they basically develop as a female because even though they have testosterone being produced by testicles in their body, none of the receptors are responding to it. So it's almost like the default setting for babies is girl.
Okay.
I've heard that before.
So
interesting.
So boys are responding to the testosterone as they develop and grow, and they become whatever they're going to become, and things get as big as they're going to get, basically. So I don't think adding more testosterone, I don't think to a male really is going to increase size.
Not fair.
No.
What a friggin'...
Trust me, there'd be a lot of people doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be stopping at Walgreens on my way home.
No kidding.
Let's see. A few months back, I noticed I had a couple small white bumps on one eyelid near my nose. My wife said it was because of dry skin, so I put moisturizing stuff on it to get it to go away, but nothing happened. It doesn't really bother me, and it hasn't grown or spread anywhere else other than that one little spot on my eyelid. Is that something I should be concerned about? March Madness, Jesus.
On eyelid near nose. Okay. I mean, probably not. If it's right on the margin of the eyelid, like down into the eyelashes, then I mean that could be a sty, but that usually hurts. It's swollen.
Those suck so much. Oh.
Yeah, and those typically they kind of develop and then they'll pop, drain, and go away.
There's actually around styes. Somebody had a question about that they've had 3 now in 6 months. They do the warm compress, but it still comes back. Is that anything they should do?
I mean that's a different problem, but usually if you're getting recurrent problems like that, right at the eyelid margin, it's actually it's honestly kind of related to seborrheic dermatitis, which is what we talked about with dandruff. It's basically a version of it that happens along the eyelids. Warm compresses can help, but that is worth seeing a doctor too, because there's some topical antibiotics or even washes that can help get rid of that dead skin that's building up that causes the styes. But the white dots is probably these things just called milia, which is it's basically like a benign little inclusion of some extra skin that sits there and does nothing, and they're tiny, and they don't really have any significance other than cosmetic. And if they drive you crazy, things can be done about it. I mean, basically, it's kind of zapping it with a tiny little electrical thing in the office, or possibly just using a really sharp scalpel to open it.
Ooh,
but
wow.
But yeah, they're usually real. Those are typically very small. I mean, like 0.5 millimeter. So if that's what it is, it's nothing to worry about.
I used to get those from the eyeliner I'd apply in my emo band.
Yeah, that's
I was
actually
really into emo bands.
That's actually a pretty big thing. Like if you get a sty, if I get one, I have to replace all my makeup because I can't just like some of it is. I can wash some of it, but the majority of it, I just have to replace it all, or else it's going to keep coming back over and over and over again.
You wore makeup every day, where Josh only wore it when My Chemical Romance was in town. Right,
Talented band.
It was. Here's another reason to skip that working out. I don't know why folks get involved in such things. Working out again, says a listener. Lifting. I wake up with the last 2 fingers on my right hand numb. Must have pinched a nerve, huh? So the pinky and the ring finger on the right hand, when he wakes up there, they're numb.
Yeah.
Asleep, in parentheses, he put asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's the last 2 fingers, the ring finger and the pinky, basically those are the nerve that goes to those is the ulnar nerve, which is the funny bone nerve, essentially.
Oh yeah. Because when you bash your funny bone in, those are the ones that right.
So there's something going on there, probably. I mean, when you talk about different numbness things in fingers, if it's that distribution, it pretty much has to be that ulnar nerve. So it could be something related to the lifting. Usually.
What can you curl?
A couple of 6-packs maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't done it in so long. I have no idea. A couple gallons of milk. So you wouldn't pull something there. The most common thing is people, at night maybe be sleeping on it or something like that, and they'll have some.
He also says his chest hurts really bad and he can't breathe.
Oh, good.
I'm kidding.
Good. So basically, but you can get some. That nerve essentially has to kind of slide in the groove there where the funny bone area is, and sometimes you get a little bit of scar tissue or kind of a tight, basically a thing that holds the nerve down, and there's something going on with that.
Okay.
So one of the things you can do is people will like take an ACE wrap, put a towel on your elbow, put an ACE wrap around it to keep your arm from bending overnight, because it just will let it rest overnight for a bit. See if that helps. If it keeps happening, or if you're actually getting constant numbness or weakness in those fingers, it could start to be an issue where the nerve is really being affected to the point where it might be permanent. So that's when you need That's when you need to see your doc and probably go talk to a hand surgeon.
There goes his banjo playing career or something. If those
but
2 fingers.
I'm not sure whether it would. It could have something to do with working out, just building the muscles in that area, and maybe it's putting tension on the various tendons and tissues.
Dana had that issue, but he's a sleep masturbator.
I told you not to tell anybody, Josh.
You mentioned the funny bone. This person says 2 weeks ago they hit their funny bone. Now their elbow is killing them. Doing any pushing motions. Did I bruise a tendon? What can I do? That is from Spicy Quaff Jesus, by the way.
Quaff?
God. Spicy, yeah.
After that, I've completely forgotten what his problem is. What did he say?
That stands out. That's why I saved it to the end.
So bang the funny bone, and still having problems. If you
2 weeks ago.
If you really nail that nerve, it can get some bruising or basically damage to the nerve that takes a while to heal. You'd have to really hit your elbow hard to actually fracture something, and it's not really, that's not really a place where you think of tendinitis typically. I'm just sort of thinking that through. There's a thing called golfer's elbow, which is basically the opposite of tennis elbow. Tennis elbow is on the, if you put your hand out in front of you and your palm's facing down, on the top is where you get tennis elbow problems. Underneath is where you get what's called golfer's elbow or little league elbow. And I guess, it could be something with that, but probably it just needs a little bit of time to rest. And they could do that same thing with, again, putting a
Wrap
towel.
it up.
Basically something it doesn't have to be tight, but just something that prevents you from bending your elbow all night. Will let that sort of area rest. And if it's not getting better, then go get her checked out.
You guys
might need an x-ray.
You guys know this. I got chicken elbow.
Oh yeah, I've heard you say that before.
From when I broached chicken at the Wayzata American Legion. Wapple will be able to tell you this because he worked in fast food. I kind of rattle the broaster to keep the chicken moving around.
Where does it hurt?
Funny bone area.
Okay, so that's golfer's
right, and I
elbow.
did wrap it up a couple times.
Yeah.
I got laughed at even by the elderly people. And I was coming into broast chicken with an elbow wrap on. By the way, you raise your hands above your head like you just scored a goal like this. You see this?
Yeah.
Josh gets bad pain between his shoulders from pulling down all those ratings.
Oh my God.
He pulls them straight down, and he gets a little tight between.
Dr. P. Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
There he is. Dr. P. Jesus. He is here, sober for once. He's got a little bit left to give. He's here on the Half-Assed Morning Show helping folks out with their health issues. Here's another one for you. Dr. P. I had a cyst right above my dirt star.
Oh.
Oh, that's not a good place.
Oh.
A couple of years ago.
Dirt star.
It burst. And it leaked all over the place.
Oh.
It was leaking everywhere, he says.
Everywhere.
And then it stopped, but the hole is still there. Will it ever heal over, or will I always look like I have a double-barrel turd gun back there?
That's a lot of fun euphemisms right there. They are describing a pilonidal cyst.
Pilonidal.
Yes.
Of
Is that
the air.
exclusive to that area?
It is, yes.
That's okay.
I guess I don't, I'm not sure if I know the word pilo is hair. Anyway, but yes, it's basically, so we talked about embryology a little bit earlier. When we are forming as an embryo, there's a lot that goes on. But the final thing that kind of happens
I bet there is.
Our skin and stuff kind of closes down over us and is supposed to finish right at your tailbone. And sometimes it doesn't quite close right. And and it's also related to the development of your spinal cord. And if it really doesn't happen right, then you end up with something called spina bifida, where basically the skin and the nerves down there around the tailbone above the whatever they called it, dirt
star.
Dirt star, I believe.
Right.
Double barrel.
Right. Thank you, my good sir.
Yeah.
But then you actually don't have function of your legs and other things like that. But lots
he was born with that?
Well, but lots of people will have. He doesn't have spina bifida. He has.
No, I mean the other thing.
Well, it usually is because there's a tiny little dimple there that just never kind of close. And we actually, when babies are born and you do a newborn exam, one of the things you look for is, partly you're making sure there's not a large defect, but we'll often be able to see a dimple there. And if it's kind of deep, you sort of know that this kid is going to have some troubles. And so and part of the problem is it often will have a couple hairs in there.
Oh my God.
And so you basically got this little divot with hairs, and it can get infected and cause a cyst.
A couple of hairs in there.
I know. It's humans are disgusting.
Curly hairs.
Yeah, but so it's a pretty common problem. I don't know what percentage of the population will have maybe minor issues with a pilonidal cyst, but it can turn into a massive infection. And that's one of the worst office infection drainage procedures I've ever.
It's kind of a gross procedure.
It's pretty bad.
And you see the hairs in there and everything?
Yeah, because it can be tremendous amounts of fluid.
That's terrible. Really? Is that hole always going to be there for the player?
The hole basically, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much been there and it won't close over.
I'm sorry to tell you, bro.
So if someone keeps getting infections there, and especially if they're requiring it to be drained, you basically the definitive procedure is they have to essentially excise that whole area and let it kind of heal openly. It's called marsupialization, which is a disturbing term to me. But
marsupial, kind of a pouch.
Yeah, you're letting that pouch sort of slowly close over.
God, help us all.
So there are surgeries that can be done.
I thought you were going to say you just kind of fill it in with silly putty or something.
No.
This
is
a little Bondo.
Yeah. No, that would just trap any infection in there and give you an abscess. Basically, that's where if the little opening gets swollen because there's an infection and now suddenly things are trapped, then you get a massive
It's really
pocket.
fascinated that our ass neck down there, that's the last spot that
closes off with skin, essentially.
That's the last spot that is created, Cubby, when we're in the womb.
Yeah, I had never heard that before.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it probably won't close. But sometimes you know it can just be there and not really be a problem. But if you keep getting those pockets of infection, a lot of times you do.
Where
need
God
some
is
surgery.
like, God says, did you get the dirt star straightened out? And his assistants say, yeah, okay, close it on up.
Right,
And sometimes the assistants don't close it up, and then there you go.
I know God needs to not move on to the next one quite so quickly.
Iron Fist Jesus says, what can I do about heartburn, stomachache type of thing? I have to take a couple of Tums every day and have for the last decade.
Oh, that sucks. Sorry, man.
I mean, Tums is basically just sort of sprinkling water on the fire of heartburn. So it doesn't really do much as opposed to something like Zantac, which is a over-the-counter medication you can take, which sort of squelches it from the source. Something like Prilosec is even stronger. So there's a couple of options for over-the-counter medications that are worth trying to take for a couple weeks, see if it settles things down.
Zantac. I've heard of those folks.
I've used that before.
Yeah,
They've
I used
got
to eat those like candy.
They got that jingle where they say, I've got terrible heartburn and I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth. Oh.
Zantac is the... Anyway.
So there's over-the-counter medicines that can help. And ideally, it kind of gets things under control, and then you don't need something all the time. Someone who's had heartburn that's like uncontrolled for, did you say 10 years?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a good idea to get that under control because
that can be bad, right?
It can. I mean, acid going up into your esophagus for day after week, after month, after year can cause some changes in the esophagus. The esophagus kind of tries to turn into stomach tissue to protect itself, and anytime our bodies try to do that, you get some weird cell growth things.
Haven't we all gone through that stretch of time in our lives where heartburn brought us to our knees?
Yeah. I had an uncle who had, my uncles had various maladies which I thought were hilarious, and karma has gotten me.
You've had all of them.
I'll tell you, hemorrhoids, boy, was that fun as a kid when your uncles would complain about their hemorrhoids. And then same with acid reflux.
Yeah.
You laughed and you laughed at the sumbitch.
Heartburn, I was like, yeah. And then I had it. Oh, my God.
That can be brutal.
That hurts so bad.
Once you get heartburn straightened out, what I did, I went straight to a hot dog eating contest. And,
Smart.
I took third place.
Screw you, heartburn.
Yep.
Dude, that is very painful.
It can be terrible. Yeah, I went through it. It sounds like we all, I don't know what it was. Is it something that generally comes after you when you're in your mid-20s or late that's when I had it. Mid-20s, late 20s, everything gave me heartburn.
I think it's, it might be like the things you can get away with when you're 15
or
25 in terms of alcohol, food, all that stuff, your body tolerates it, and then at some point...
That was a silly question that I just asked because that's when most of us are living our hardest life.
Exactly.
Drinking and eating, of course.
Yeah, I didn't even... So figuring out what are you eating and drinking that may be causing problems, lots of coffee, lots of carbonated beverages, lots of spicy foods, lots of acidic foods. Those are things you can change to help with heartburn.
Josh just rolled through his regular
Yeah, right.
I'm going through all that.
Yay!
Diet
Mountain Dew.
That's what I'm going to have by
Chipotle.
noon today. Yeah. We got to get going again, Dr. P. We do.
Sounds good.
But we appreciate you stopping by. I had one more question here about getting rid of toenail fungus by soaking your toes in bleach. That doesn't sound like a good idea, does it?
I would not do that.
Okay, don't do that. Dr. P, thanks again, man.
All righty.
You're looking great, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.